Hello, passengers.
You good?
Are we live?
Is it going?
Yeah, we're good, man.
Hey.
Look at that. We're live.
To everyone on YouTube.
We know what we're doing.
Listen, because of today's episode, to our Japanese listeners, konnichiwa, motherfucker. And by the way, that is pretty much how to say motherfucker in Japanese.
Yes,
Pretty much.
pretty much.
Well, it's, you got to.
I assume they don't have a word for motherfucker.
It's correct. So it's like the one that actually is the most normal or whatever. Anyway, so we were diving into that. But welcome to the Midnight Train
All right.
podcast,
Yeah,
where we bring the dark to light. Obviously, you guys know that.
We do.
You know what it means.
we do.
We like to make fun of and joke about creepy shit while bringing you as much information on each topic as possible.
All right.
I am your host, the conductor of the cryptic, Jonathan Sayer. Damn it. And with me are my co-hosts, Mr. Moody,
Yeah.
Logan,
Yeah.
and a special guest.
Ooh.
It's Riley.
Hi, guys.
Happy 4th of July, motherfuckers.
Woo! Freedom!
America.
Fuck yeah!
Fuck yeah, dude. I'm about to go out back and shoot something just for the fuck of it. Just kidding. Everyone that listens in other countries are probably like, yeah, that's exactly what we thought you guys were
Yeah,
going to do.
pretty much. Yeah.
So, yeah, but it's 4th of July, and I'm
I wonder
excited
how many
about
people
it.
are going to get shot in like Chicago and New Orleans and DC tonight.
That's how they celebrate our freedom.
That's what I'm saying.
They're free to shoot whoever they want.
Yeah, but why is today? Well, now they're just doing it with fireworks in the background.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, people party like their ass. People party,
Yeah.
and then, you get those areas like that. And, dude, there's always a ton of shootings on 4th of July in New
Yeah.
Orleans.
Yeah. It's so stupid. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Way to bring the episode down.
Oh, this one's
trust
going
me,
to be.
that's not going to bring the episode down.
This is going to be a rough one. So, you beautiful bunch of dark passengers and our viewers right now watching on YouTube.
Hello.
You know that we're just a bunch of musicians and assholes that love history and cannot get enough of the mysterious. We want you all to know how much it means to us that you're listening to us at this very freaking moment. Your reviews and support really do make all the hard work worthwhile. And saying that, please do us a favor. Stop over to Apple Podcasts. Leave a review for us because they like that shit and it helps move up the rankings and whatnot. So it's kind of important. If you could do that, it'd be awesome. You can leave any review you'd like.
Can you?
Yeah, how about, what's today? What do we want?
Happy 4th of July, motherfucker.
There you go.
Or, I'm sorry, mother fathers.
How about Mazafaka?
Mazafaka.
Mazafaka.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
And by the way, I'm going to be screwing up probably quite a few words in this. And please, I try to do as much research on these words as possible. And for our Japanese listeners or anyone out there that's like, oh my God, they're totally bashing it, I'm not doing it intentionally. I promise.
we should get Charlie in here.
Yeah, she probably knows more than I do.
Studies Japanese, yeah.
She yells at me every night. Because at night, we always have this little thing where I say, good night, sweet dreams, see you soon, love you so much. And then it's...
I know, but what do you do with your daughter? That's me and you.
and my daughter. But then we say ayasame or ayasumi.
Ayosame.
Ayosame.
Yeah.
What does that
And
mean?
That means good night, I think. I love you. I don't know. She
maybe
just tells me to
something
say it, and I
like that.
say it, but I screw it up every time.
Dude,
Anyway,
it probably means fuck you, Dad.
Yeah.
you little shit. You can also find us on Spotify and iHeartRadio by typing the Midnight Train podcast in their search bar and clicking the follow button. You'll then get each episode as they are released. And our Patreon subscribers just received a couple of awesome bonus episodes. And guess what? You're about to get another one coming up.
Whoop, whoop.
All up in you.
All right. You know what, though?
All up in you.
I don't know, man.
I don't even know where this is
I
going.
just don't know. Like I understand that they're supporting us, but do they deserve it?
I think they do.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. I think they take the time to be supportive and listen to us. And,
Yeah.
they throw those bones at us to help us get like the new microphone we had to get because Logan's microphone fucked up. So, yes.
Wasn't my fault.
You know what?
Yeah.
It was your fault. You're the one that fucked up the suspension system, and that after that, that was the beginning of the end, bro.
You know what?
I mean, it was an old mic. Anyway.
Spit
So,
facts.
speaking of our
yeah.
Patreon
All right.
subscribers.
Well, you know what? We'll give them another bonus.
Yeah, we'll give them. They deserve it.
Yeah.
Once we've decided that once we hit 100 producers, we're going to start
Yes.
giving 10% to a specific charity that we'll announce every month that is chosen by our Patreon listeners.
You get to decide.
That's right. So get bonuses, give to a good cause. All good, right?
Yeah.
Also, we have the Patreon only Facebook page, which I haven't been putting a lot on there lately, and I apologize for that. I've just been super busy with work. I know I'm slacking. And you will get an invitation for that. So if you are a Patreon member, you will get your own personalized Patreon.
Yeah, and
thing.
you'll get your stickers.
Right. And the stickers, of course, which are all sent out as far as I know.
I got an X, so
Yeah.
y'all better put your stickers up.
Yeah. It's coming, folks.
I've been practicing
It's
on
coming.
pieces of wood.
Yeah.
Could
yeah.
very easily be ahead.
I can't wait till the FBI like turns into our stuff and be like, "Oh, this Moody guy, we gotta watch out for him."
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm probably on so many lists already. It's not even fun.
Probably been on those lists for a few years
That's
now.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
all good.
So find us on Facebook, find us on Twitter, on Instagram, on Twitch, on TikTok, anywhere and everywhere. We are there. And if we're not, let us know that we need to be there and we will make sure it happens. All right.
Maybe.
Be there or be square.
So let's turn down the lights, adjust our seats, grab a drink, especially you guys out there, and let's get spooky. But first, here's a toast to all you beautiful motherfuckers.
The drink popped so nice, we did it twice.
That's
baby.
right. This might be the Drink Pop song from here on out.
What's it called again?
Your mom.
Really?
No.
She hits kind of hard.
My mom can't break it down like this, though.
I don't know. Your dad probably thinks you can.
My dad's gonna kill you now.
All
So
right.
good.
So today
Very
we
nice.
are taking
Very
a
nice.
trip to Japan. So buckle up. Today's episode may contain some talk that could be hard for some to listen to. Okay, we understand that. We will be discussing suicide in part of today's episode. While we normally have a pretty, lackadaisical, whatever the fucking word is, that whole we don't give a shit kind of attitude.
Why is he gonna make it harder than it is?
Really?
I wrote lax, and he's trying to pronounce words that he knows he can't pronounce.
I had it.
Jeez.
Anyway, we all agree that mental health and suicide are serious issues, and we do not want anyone who may already, have some problems or whatever to listen to this, to something that we're discussing
Yeah, we don't
and
wanna
make
make
the
anything
problems
worse.
worse, right?
Yeah.
So, obviously we joke around and we have fun, and there will be jokes and a lot of fuckery in this episode.
Yeah. Well,
But
we'll put him in the right spot.
Right,
though.
but we will not make jokes about suicide or mental health. As you guys, if you're longtime listeners, you should know that we're real big advocates for
So
mental
is
health
this-
awareness and
Is
whatnot.
this what the kids call a trigger warning?
This would be the trigger warning.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And it could be kind of rough for some people.
No, absolutely.
And so
I
that's
agree.
why we're putting this in here. And we will try and find some levity to shake off the darker situations. But, we'll do our best to also be respectful when needed.
Hey, you should do your best viewer discretion is advised. Like the
Listener
deep voice.
discretion, yes.
Like a deep voice.
Listener discretion
Wait, what is that?
is advised.
We need the beginning of that Fear Factory song. Due to the graphic nature of this program.
Yeah.
Did you hear, by the way, he dropped a new album, or they dropped a new album, Fear Factory did?
You got a new singer, huh?
Yeah, he's not bad, but it sounds just like old Fear Factory.
Really?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does.
I mean,
that's what we listened to on
right
the way down
with
to
that.
West Virginia, wasn't it?
Yeah. With my 5-year-old granddaughter.
And she was headbanging in the background.
You're
so don't
probably
worry.
loving
Yeah.
it, dude. Dino, don't fuck around.
So,
Now you got to do actually the beginning of like the Law and Order intro.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
Dude, on a side note, real quick, sorry, before we get into it, just to kind of lighten it before we go into it.
Yeah.
So as you know, Matt DeVries from Camara used to play in Fear Factory. You knew that, right?
Bass player,
he
right?
played bass after, right? So when I was living in New Orleans, they came down. They were in I can't remember where they were playing. It was like an hour outside New Orleans. So we went out there me and my buddy went out there to see him. And like we ended up getting outside of the club. It was like 2 a.m, and it was like me and Matt and my buddy and like a couple other people. We ended up getting high as fuck playing hacky sack with like all the dudes in Fear Factory at like 3 a.m. in the
That's
parking lot.
amazing.
And then like Dino comes out and he starts like fucking throwing down. We're like, oh, dude, it was awesome, man.
Dino's cool, man. They're
Yeah.
all cool guys. Christian, all those dudes are super
Anyways,
cool. Speaking of,
Yeah?
we also decided to dabble in a little bit today before we decided to start the episode.
yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
We
Whoa.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
allegedly, supposedly,
Particularly.
particularly. So yeah, we may or may not have taken an edible before we started, and we're going to see what happens. Joe Rogan, right?
Riley will be the first one out.
He's already out.
I was never even here.
Uncle Raleigh. But
Uncle
listen,
Raleigh.
seriously, continuing to this, if you know someone or if you are having any sort of thoughts of suicide, or depression, or anything like that, please reach out to someone that you can talk to. There's a ton of so many different awesome resources
Yeah.
for those who need them. I mean,
Yeah,
there's better help that's out there now that you can text and get help. So
Yep.
in saying that, we got that out of the way. This could be rough.
Yeah. So
Hopefully
just,
you can handle it.
Even if you give it a go and it's kind of getting weird at points, just turn it off or
Yeah.
skip forward.
Yeah, just skip forward.
Skip forward about halfway through and things get a little bit.
it
you know.
chills out a little bit.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and to be honest, I mean, if one episode's too rough, we'll be back next week. So
Maybe.
Can you?
maybe. With that being said, in today's episode, we are talking about Japan's Okigahara Forest, also known as the Suicide Forest. We're going to go through the history of the forest, and we are also going to talk about some of the tales of spirits and monsters in the forest. Also, we'll get into some spooky stories, of course, but, that's what we do here.
Yeah.
So,
Mm.
I've been really excited about doing this episode.
Well, you're going to be really disappointed. So
Yeah, stop. I'm always really disappointed. I'm usually super happy. Then you show up.
yeah, I mean that's what I do. That's pretty much wherever I go. It's like there's a party, I'll walk in, everyone's like, oh, God damn it.
You just walk around and instantly you're womp, womp,
Yeah.
womp every time you come in.
It's awesome, dude.
So due to the high level of stress faced by the Japanese, Japan is seen as one of the top countries with suicide rates. According to the report by The Guardian, depression, serious illness, and debt are among the common reasons one seeks to end their life. Now, Japan, it's a smaller country,
Yeah.
Very small.
a lot of people.
Yeah.
So,
Population density is
it's pretty, yeah.
Crazy.
And they also have one of the world's largest economies too.
Yeah, oh,
Correct,
yeah.
yeah.
Like they're a huge center for business and technology, especially.
Mm-hmm. And they're like, I think, like, what, 1/5 our size or
No
something like
way.
They're
smaller
like-
than
they're
that.
way
They're
smaller
like
than
Like
that,
1/10?
No, they're probably
No,
like
20th.
I think Japan's
30th?
I think
100th.
60th.
477. I think Japan is like the size of, I want to say, like from like Maine to New
They're-
Jersey. Like
So it's like
not-
Texas.
Yeah, not even.
No,
Like
no,
Hawaii.
they're
Hawaii,
like
maybe?
they're a little bit
Is
bigger
it
than
comparable to
Ohio.
Hawaii?
What? Maybe if you count all the islands.
That's what I'm saying.
No, not even close.
Wait, anyway, Riley's looking it up right now.
Yeah, I'll be the nerd.
Of course, historically, suicide.
What do you mean will be the nerd?
I am the nerd.
There you go. Historically, suicide has been viewed differently in Japan than the way that we see it now.
Okay, so Japan is slightly smaller than California.
Okay. All right. Well, that makes sense
Fair
now.
enough.
Okay.
Okay.
And what's the population density there?
300 and let me see here real quick. It's only 2.9 square kilometers per 1,000 people.
A lot of people.
So like
Oof.
every square kilometer there would be there'd be 2.9 square kilometers. So for every 3 kilometers there's 1,000 people in that area.
Jesus
Right,
The
which
Christ.
is-
United States is nothing like
So
that.
that's basically like what, every 9 feet?
Yeah.
No,
No.
meters. I'm thinking meters.
Kilometers.
I don't even know what the hell you're thinking of.
There's 1,000 people every 9 feet.
Listen, man.
They're actually stacked
Holy
up like Jenga blocks.
So anyway,
I'd hate to be the guy at the
Wow.
bottom, you know. 126.3 million people. That's about
That's a
that's
third of ours.
a little more than a third of our population.
right, and they're the size of California.
Yes.
So if they put, I just wanted to put that into everyone's mind here, like
Yeah.
the
Lots of
amount
people.
Lots of people.
Little package.
Right. So most people today
And
will
there.
remark how selfish or cowardly suicide is, and they'll sit there and they'll berate it, and they'll say that it's a suicide, or that suicide is a selfish act,
Yeah.
and so on and so forth. And I have
And then
my
it's
best,
cowardly and all that
yeah,
kind of
and,
stuff.
and
get
moving into this,
You get that debate here too.
well, no, that's
Well,
what we're talking
I
about.
thought you were
We're
talking about
talking
in
about,
Japan.
Yeah,
No,
no,
I see,
we're
okay.
saying from the United States, and we'll say like maybe most of the globe kind of looks at it that way. But
Yeah,
I know for
yeah,
sure
yeah.
the United States has this like negative stigma to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And coming from someone, and my best friend killed himself when I was 18, and it was a horrible, horrible thing. And I went through that whole.
Do I know who this person is?
No.
Okay,
no,
this
no,
is before.
no. Yeah.
before, Okay.
Yeah, no, he had issues, a lot of issues. So anyway, Japan historically has had the view that, suicide was actually an honorable thing. So back in the feudal era in Japan, committing suicide was seen as an act of honor. The samurai warriors would rather commit suicide, or known as seppuku, sometimes referred to as harikari, which is
Not Harry Carey.
right. It's harikari. Harakiri.
Harakiri, yeah.
Harakiri,
Harakiri.
yeah, which is ritual disembowelment. And they'd rather do that than fall into the hands of their enemy, a way to uphold their honor and dignity. It was also used as a form of capital punishment for samurai who had committed serious offenses or performed, on them because
Yeah.
they had brought shame to themselves or their family or something like that. So the honor is really big, or at least was really big
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
And yeah, so that's kind of where we're coming from with that. So it was also used as a form of, like I said, the capital punishment. It was later practiced by other Japanese people during the Showa period, particularly the officers near the end of World War II, to restore honor for themselves or for their families. Because
Fucking nuts. People were doing that shit at the end of World War II.
Yeah,
That was.
yeah.
Well, a lot of that stuff was going on in World War II
Yeah.
too, on both
Like
on
the
all
kamikazes and
sides.
stuff like that.
Oh, we're gonna touch on that.
We'll talk about that.
okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah,
I
like
thought
the-
so. Okay, wow. What is this, an episode of Mean Girls, dude? Like, Jesus
You didn't-
Christ.
we wear pink on, what was it, Wednesdays?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. So the ceremonial disembowelment, which is usually part of a more elaborate ritual and performed in front of spectators, consists of plunging a short blade like a tanto into the belly and drawing the blade from left to right, slicing the belly open. Some practitioners of seppuku allowed themselves to die slowly, but they usually enlisted the help of a kaishikunin, or second, who would lop off the head with a katana as soon as they made their initial cut.
Yeah, a lot of them. So what I was reading about that, because you're supposed to go, they go in and come over, and then the last cut is supposed to turn and go up. So the second, as they called it, he is basically like a sword boy,
Right.
and it's basically not necessarily as soon as they make the incision, but it's like as soon as they show any kind of like emotion or pain or fear or anything on their face, that's when they do it.
So do you think like the sword boy thing was like everybody had their own personal sword boy, or do you
That's their second was like somebody they trusted. It was
think,
someone. that
so
they-
it wasn't
yeah.
like a service you'd
Wasn't
call
like a
up and be like,
random-
hey, I need to run a sword boy for the afternoon?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
It was kind of like in the medieval days where like everyone kind of had like their
Their squire.
yeah. It was
yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. So the goal was generally not to take the head off in one swing. Rather, most of the way off on the first swing, with the second bringing down a very light cut, allowing the head to fall into the hands of the deceased.
That was the optimum way to die. Basically, if
You
they take the
slice-
head off, it hangs there, and then they give it one last little bink, and then it would fall into the hands of. And like if that happens, that's
Everyone's
best,
like, oh.
that's best case scenario. That's like ESPN top 10 plays right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
You know, everyone tries to flip their water bottle nowadays. It was like
it
that
was
back in the day.
It's crazy though.
If you
That,
could
like
get
that
your,
was
if you get your samurai's head to fall in his hands, it was
that
like
was
a
it.
huge
That
deal.
was that was like the most respectable way from what I was reading, anyways.
the forbidden game of catch.
And just so you know, like I tried to find a lot of this stuff on Japanese websites because like you could find a lot of this stuff, but like to me, like I was like, I'm gonna see like what they say about a lot of this shit,
Right.
Because like it's different from our perspective
Right.
to like, but from hearing it from like a source that's close to it, like so I try to find as much info as I can off of like Japanese websites.
Right, absolutely. And also, too, complete side note, every time we bring up a movie or movie quote or whatever,
yeah, our drinking
or
game.
we sing a stupid song that has something to do with it, drink.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
any sort of reference. I
Every
guess.
sort of
Music,
reference outside
music
of this.
and movie reference.
Yeah. I didn't say that in the beginning.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Well, I feel like that's a given at this point.
yeah, well, yeah, it kind of is. So the goal, again, was to do it all and rather just have it fall in her hands, which is just ugh. Among other rituals, the doomed individual often drank sake. I love sake, by the way.
And it was very specific from what I was reading that they were allowed 2 sips.
Right.
So it wasn't even like they were allowed to get fucking hammered and then blah.
Right.
Like they were
2
allowed,
sips ain't doing shit.
allowed 2 sips of sake.
What's the ABV on sake?
I don't know. It's a
pretty
whiskey.
good.
No, it's not a whiskey. It's just a
Pretty good.
rice wine.
It's a
isn't it?
rice wine.
Yeah, so
But
it's
it's pretty-
probably 7-8%.
It's more
I'd
than
say.
that.
You think
Like
so?
13, 15, somewhere
I
around
was
there.
saying like
Oh,
13 to 15 maybe.
Undiluted sake has an ABV of 18 to 20%.
18.
Oh,
wow.
shit!
If
It's like-
sake is
It's like
diluted
the
with
mead
water,
that I've been making.
yeah, if sake is diluted before it is bottled, it's around 15%.
Ugh, that's still
So the
good.
Japanese
Figured it
know how
was
to
up there.
party. That's
People
why
get
you can only
fucked
have 2
up on
sips.
sake, man.
So you guys have ever been to like Shintos, like
Yeah,
hibachi
yeah,
or whatever like
yeah.
that? I had, they take the sake and they throw it in your mouth, and you have to
Yeah.
hold in your mouth for a certain time, dude. So I was swallowing without closing my mouth.
Ugh.
And was just downing it, and I got so fucked up. My wife had to drive us home. Like I was, I mean, they counted to like 65 or some shit like that, and I'm just like, oh, I'm good.
They actually- They swapped the bottle out midstream. 'cause it was empty. They're like,
Yeah, I was just sitting there going, go ahead, I got it, yeah, I
"Oh,
got it.
please don't ever make that face
Yeah,
with that
yeah.
noise again.
Please
oh
don't.
my god. Oh yeah.
All I heard was swallow my mouth open. That's just not
Where do
putting
you think you learned that tactic?
Let's
huh?
not isolate any of that. Thank you. Yeah,
Too
that would be-
late.
yeah. Yeah. That would, well,
Sound bites.
along with the a specific number of sips, they composed a short death poem before taking upon the blade.
Yeah.
Okay. In each case, it was considered an act of extreme bravery and self-sacrifice that embodied Bushido, the ancient warrior code of the samurai. There was even a female version of seppuku called. Now, listen, I looked my ass off to find the pronunciation for this.
It's gonna be great.
All right, let's hear it.
Did you find one?
No. So I will do this. It's Jigai.
Jigai. Gijia.
No.
Jigai?
J-I. Oh, Jijia? Jijai?
So
Jigai.
I looked up that it was Jigai.
Jigai?
That's what I found.
That sounds about right.
J-I-G-I-A?
Yeah.
G-A-I. J-I-G-A-I.
Oh, yeah, so
Jigai.
Jigai, yeah.
Jigai. That's what I found on
Do
one.
you know Jigai? Hey, I know Jigai.
But nobody else had anything. It was on one thing,
Really?
and I'm like, fuck. Now,
All right, well-
seppuku's all over the place.
Yeah.
Or seppuku. That's it, seppuku.
Sure,
Sorry.
whatever.
Which, so they had a female version, which involved
Jigai.
cutting the throat using a tanto.
Yeah, they just kind of fucking...
So a tanto is a Japanese tanto knife, which if you're not familiar with, or a short,
Short sword.
It's characterized by the dagger-like design. The tanto knife first appeared around the year of 1900.
Wow.
So an old-ass knife.
Yeah.
So seppuku fell out of favor with the decline of the samurai, and the list didn't disappear entirely. Japanese General Nogi Murasuke disemboweled himself in 1912 out of loyalty to the deceased Meiji Emperor. And many troops later chose the sword over surrender during, as we talked earlier, World War II. Perhaps the most famous case in recent history concerns Yukio Mishima, a renowned novelist and Nobel Prize nominee who committed ritual seppuku in 1970 after leading a failed coup against the Japanese government. Oof. It's rough.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I just read a little blurb or whatever. The guy who created the Nobel Prize.
Mr. Nobel?
Yeah, what is his name though?
Isn't it like James Nobel or some shit like that?
It's so the reason he created that was
Bob Nobel?
to make penance because he created dynamite.
Yes.
Yeah,
yeah.
And so many people died from it that he wanted to make the Nobel Prize to honor other people because of all the deaths that happened during, I guess, dynamite explosions.
His name was
Yeah.
Alfred Nobel.
Alfred Nobel.
Alfred Nobel.
Yeah.
He was a chemist.
Yeah. So he created the formula for dynamite, and everyone was like, "You're a murderer," and everything else. And so he decided to create the Nobel Prize for that.
Well, it's the same thing as like Albert Einstein and all the guys who worked on the Manhattan Project. Like what they spent the rest of their lives doing was trying for nuclear disarmament because they didn't want to have to, they saw the power of it.
Make amends for it.
Yeah, they were they spent the rest of their lives. Like, you ever see that interview with Oppenheimer when he's just like talking into the microphone and his eyes are just glassed over and he's like,
I think
saying,
we played the
discussed
audio.
that,
We
yeah.
played the
become
audio.
death
Yeah.
audio.
Yeah.
The dude was just like sucked the life out of him after he invented
Yeah, you
that
can
thing.
go back and you can actually listen to that the episode. Was it the Manhattan Project
Yep.
we did?
Yeah.
You can go back and listen to that for all of the listeners out there. So on October 25th, 1944, the Empire of Japan employed kamikaze bombers for the first time. Kamikaze bombers were named after the divine wind that had destroyed the Mongol fleet in the 13th century, thus saving Japan from invasion. I did not know that.
Do you
I
know
thought
that
was
actually
awesome.
happened? That happened twice. The Mongols tried to invade 2 times in history, and both times a tsunami or monsoon came through and wiped out their fleet before they get to Japan.
So some superior force does not like the Mongols.
Yeah, the Mongols were never going to get to Japan. Yeah.
They're like,
Goddamn
no.
Mongolians!
nope. You stay over there. So the tactic was part of the ferocious battle of Leyte Gulf. It's Leyte.
Leyte, I think.
Gulf, the largest naval battle in history, which took place in the Pacific Ocean near the Philippines. Kamikaze strikes against Allied warships continued throughout World War II. So now kamikaze pilots deliberately crashed specially made planes directly into enemy warships, which resulted, of course, in suicide. It was a desperate policy. Motoharu Okamura, who commanded a kamikaze squadron, remarked that by 1944, quote, "I firmly believe that the only way to swing the war in our favor is to resort to crash dive attacks with our planes. There is no other way. Provide me with 300 planes and I will turn the tide of the war." So he's like, we're just going to send these fuckers out, and then if they die, I mean, they are going to die.
So it was just suicide bombing.
Yeah, that's
pretty
it.
much.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
basically Japanese suicide bombing. Yeah, absolutely. And
That sounds like a really heavy metal band.
Japanese suicide bomber.
Japanese suicide bomber.
Yeah, that sounds really heavy, actually. In these kamikaze attacks, more than 3,000 Japanese pilots were killed, and there were more than 7,000 casualties among American, Australian, and British personnel. Flight Lieutenant, I had this too, Haro Araki wrote the following letter to his wife before his last flight, and this is fucked. It says, Shigeko, are you well? It is now a month since that day. The happy dream is over. Tomorrow I will dive my plane into an enemy ship. I will cross the river into the world, taking some Yankees with me. When I look back, I see that I was very cold-hearted to you. After I had been cruel to you, I used to regret it. Please forgive me. When I think of your future and the long life ahead, it tears at my heart. Please remain steadfast and live happily. After my death, please take care of my father for me. I, who have lived for the eternal principles of justice, will forever protect this nation from the enemies that surround us. Commander of the Air Unit Eternity, Haru Araki. Holy shit.
I'm pretty sure that his wife was either, I can't remember what it said. She was either pregnant or just had a baby too.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So you're literally writing a letter saying,
I'm going to go kill myself tomorrow.
yeah, I'm going. Bye. Jesus. So the reason we wanted to include the letter is that last line. He referred to himself as living for the eternal principles of justice. He says he will forever protect his nation from the enemies that surround them. This goes to show that there was still a sense of pride in the fact that you were committing suicide for the right cause. It was seen as strength, not a weakness historically. On the other side of the coin, the Allies, steeped in the Judeo-Christian, thank you, my mouth's like, tradition of the sanctity of life, the apparent willingness of Japanese servicemen like Araki to carry out suicide attacks was just completely screwed up to
Yeah,
them.
they couldn't grasp the concept.
Yeah, they're like, this guy's going to give his life to do what? You know, yeah.
But isn't that just like a shorthand way of doing what you like? Look, when you go into the military,
See, I was
you're
gonna say,
risking.
like,
Yeah.
all those.
Right.
It's what's the
Yeah.
difference between that and all the dudes storming the beaches in Normandy and shit?
They're
Just
going into a
getting
meat
mowed down.
grinder.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
literally.
know.
Well, I guess
Well, I guess if you've never seen anything like that either, though, they're like, "What the fuck?" It's got to be frightening.
Well, it's,
I would
Just
bet,
seeing
yeah.
enemy planes just fucking. Oh, there we go.
well, because at that point, I think it kind of throws all of the rules, quote unquote, of war out the window.
and all your planning.
Like, yeah, if anyone has,
Like,
because when they're going into battle plans and they're thinking of how they're going to fight this battle, everyone has that inherent notion of self-preservation. Like, they're going
Yeah.
to try to survive. We're
Yeah.
going to try to survive, so we know they're not going to do shit like crash their planes directly into us.
right.
And then
Right,
they
right.
started doing it, and at that point, where do they draw the line?
Yeah.
Where does it stop?
Yeah.
Just like with the suicide bombers and everything in like kind of modern day, it's so much. It's kind of like where and when instead of like more
But I also
clean and cut. You know what I
there
mean?
is a huge difference between somebody that has something to fight for and somebody that is willing to give up their life at that moment in time. So if you've got
Yeah.
guys storming the beach in Normandy, they don't want to die. They're there to serve their country.
Yeah.
They may die in that idea of them possibly dying. So they're going to do everything they can, but there are also maybe things they won't do because of that.
Because that's self-preservation.
Right, but
It's
when
still
you've got
there, yeah.
somebody who's like, well, I'm dying either way, so I'm going to take as many people with me as possible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's fucking. It's dangerous.
Yeah,
too,
it's
man.
fucking crazy. But then, as scholars of the kamikaze point out, the word suicide in Japanese does not always have the same, quote, immoral connotation that it has in English. Two versions, jaiketsu, which is self-determination, and jisai, which is self-judgment, suggest an honorable or laudable act done in the public interest.
Those are both two really cool. Like totally changes the perspective of like ending your own life. Like if you instead of going from suicide, like in English, it's a pretty, it has like kind of a stigma to it.
Correct.
But if you say self-determination, you're like, I chose, like, going on your own terms.
Yeah,
quote
you're
unquote.
fulfilling you're fulfilling your own prophecy.
Yeah, or like
you're-
self-judgment. You're,
right.
like, I
Correct.
don't fuck anything above me.
I'd
like,
rather go out on my own
Yep.
hands and my own, I guess, way
Yeah.
than deal with anything else. And so, yeah, again, it totally changes the idea of it.
it gives that kind of like honorable, fighting for the right thing
Right.
type of feel to it.
Absolutely. There is, moreover, no ethical or religious taboo regarding suicide in Japan's traditional religion of Shintoism. To surrender, on the other hand, was seen as dishonorable. Hence the contempt the Japanese felt for prisoners of war. They hated that shit.
Yep. You got taken prisoner of war. You fucking dead to the Japanese.
Yep,
man.
you're
Right.
done. Japanese soldiers believed that when they fell on the field of battle, they would become kami, which is K-A-M-I. So it's kami or kamai,
Not like communists.
not like communists.
Not like we say, like, you dirty commie.
Right. It's I'm going to say kami,
It's kami.
kami, K-A-M-I.
Yeah, it's kami.
Okay. Or gods, and join the nation's spirit at the Shinto shrine of Yasukuni in Tokyo.
Which, I mean, they're not the only, like, culture that's done that stuff, too. Like, Vikings were
No,
the
yeah.
biggest thing with, like,
No, there's
Valhalla
plenty.
and stuff like that, where they want to fall on the battlefield and stuff like that. So.
It's the biggest honor is to
Right.
die in battle.
Right.
Well, even like the Chinese and everything, or like the Asian cultures are very family and like ancestry. So like to die in an honorable way, like you were honoring the past and the future of your your line.
Right.
So it was a big deal.
Right. So hence the typical farewell from members of the Shimpu, which is the Divine Wind Special Attack Corps. What they say to each other on their way out is, quote, "I'll meet you at the Yasukuni Shrine." So they're basically they're okay with doing what they're doing because it's for the right
'Cause
cause.
Yep.
Well,
It's for the right cause.
That's
So
like
that's basically, so all of this is just going to show that there was a completely different notion of suicide like historically in Japan, which is kind of where we're
culturally, yeah, it's totally different.
Yeah.
Over here again, it's always perceived as being this
A
tremendously
weakness, yeah.
horrible. Weakness again.
Like a
that's
coward's
the
way
that's the
out.
best
Right.
way to,
Yeah.
to pronounce
Selfish
it.
and
Pronounce
weak
it, yeah.
is
You're
Well,
selfish.
And that's the thing I think people are trying to change of late, as I know that a lot of people, mental health specialists and stuff, are trying to get people to stop saying terms like killed themselves and suicide. Like a lot of the like more negative connotations to it is what they're trying to get rid of because they don't want that.
Right. It's Clinton themselves now, right?
Yes, yeah, like
yeah.
Jeffrey Epstein cleaned himself.
He Clinton himself.
Who's the tech guy who just cleaned himself?
McAfee.
McAfee.
John
Yeah,
McAfee,
yeah.
He Clinton himself, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so nowadays, many have chosen to end their life not for honorable reasons, but mainly because they could not fit into society. In Japan today, suicide is considered a major social issue. In 2017, the country had the 7th highest suicide rate in the OECD at 14.9 per 100,000 people.
May have gone up since then. I'm not sure.
Right. And in 2019, the country had the 2nd highest suicide rate among the G7 developed nations.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
I wonder who was the first.
Either India or ourselves.
It's not us.
It's not us.
It wasn't us.
Was it
We
China?
weren't number one. I know that.
Maybe it was China because they.
I
want
can't
people-
remember. I should have put it in there, but I didn't.
Yeah, that's
Riley's on it.
yeah, he's looking it up. So the organization,
Got Riley on it.
the OECD, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, is, quote, an international organization that works to provide or build better policies for better lives, as per their website. So if you're wondering who the OECD is, that came from my feet. Woo! Sorry, I had a few fears than me. I mean, few beers than me. Hiccup. It's gonna have a bubble come out. Hiccup.
That was really good.
Did you find it? There you go. There it is. There it is.
Oh, man.
So 70% of suicides in Japan are male, and it is the leading cause of death.
Was it 75%?
70. 70%. And it's the leading cause of death in men aged 20 to 44. That right there,
The leading cause.
that
of
was
death.
fucking crazy to
Yeah.
me.
Well, because over there they don't have like heart disease problems and shit like we do here. Like they eat a lot healthier, so they
That's
don't have
true.
that huge killer.
Yeah, I guess.
you
There are
know?
probably not a lot of smokers over there either.
I don't think so.
I don't know, because it's probably considered, like, gross.
It's considered gross.
Because
here.
they're ahead of the curve and they're smarter than we are. Jesus.
Not. I mean, most fucking
Countries.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
can say it.
I'm trying to think of the other word. Most like
Nations?
developed countries are
Yeah, they're way
Becoming
ahead of the
smarter than
curve.
us.
Yeah,
Right.
it's just, anyway.
Who's in the G7? Ourselves.
I think that was
China,
was
UK.
that Scott Hall and Hulk Hogan and was that them? The
No, that was the
G7?
NWO.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah,
My
yeah, yeah.
bad.
The
Okay.
G7 was the plane that Matthew
No,
McConaughey.
that's a G6.
Oh. Are
Was
you
that,
sure?
G7's the rapper?
No,
No,
He's a
that's
rapper.
G Easy.
That's G Unit.
Oh,
I think
all right.
that's.
they were a little.
Wait,
off.
what?
Is there a G7 in bingo? Is it bingo?
Bingo!
Hey!
What the?
That was the most amazing turnaround I've ever seen in my life. That was so awesome. Anyway, there it is. So just look up who in the G7 is, I guess.
You got the fucking Google, bro.
No, I have a chart ready. Anyway.
So after
I
peaking,
have my chart ready. I just don't know who the people are. You just got to look that up, and then it's going to be a different screen, and then I don't know what I'm going to do.
Riley's gonna snap, and it's gonna be hashtag Riley killed movie.
Yeah, when I snap, my face will be everywhere.
Yeah, because I'm gonna beat it off of you.
Ooh, you're gonna beat
You're
him
gonna
off.
beat me off?
Wait, with both hands?
Hey man, you know.
That's a movie reference. Drink up.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, you know.
Oh,
So after peaking in 2003, suicide rates have been gradually declining. following to the lowest on record since 1978
Wow.
in 2019.
Okay, so it's going down.
It
We're
is
good.
going down,
Wait, that's
yeah.
good.
Okay.
Monthly
That's
suicide
always
rates
good
in
to hear.
Japan increased by 16%, unfortunately,
Oof.
between July and October of 2020 because
Fucking COVID.
of fucking COVID.
Fuck.
So,
Dude, that was happening in America too, man.
Yeah.
People that
Oh,
were
yeah.
in quarantine,
They were
like
losing
just
their
losing their shit. And,
shit.
yeah.
dude, it was such a, and that's the thing
But like
too.
fucking, it was suicide and like domestic abuse shot
yeah.
through the roof.
Because you're at home with your spouse all day
Oh,
long.
trust me, it took me everything I had.
I work with mine, so I'm used to it. But yeah, I could see a lot of people going,
Nah, I
"What the
wasn't.
fuck?
I was lucky enough to be working every day
Yeah.
still.
Hey,
so.
you know what it is?
What is it?"
You need separate bedrooms.
What is this, 1937?
Yes.
Okay, Riley, please explain what you're
So
talking
get
about.
back to this. So if you have separate bedrooms, I'm moving with my girlfriend. We have separate bedrooms. It's a fantastic idea. Hear me out. You have your own space. You can make it whatever you want. She has her own space. She can make it whatever she wants, right? You hang out and you can have a little sleep each other's beds or whatever together. But then when you piss her off or when she pisses you off, you have somewhere to go where you're both comfortable and able to
It's called your
down.
couch.
I was gonna say, as long as you got 2 rooms in your house, you got somewhere to go.
No,
Right.
no,
It's
that's
called a
stupid.
hotel.
That's stupid. Okay.
Or the doghouse.
You know what?
Dad's
but hold on.
house.
But hold on.
Their dad's house. Yeah. pretty
Here's
much.
the question, though. First of all, I do think it's a cool idea. I do.
think
I
it's,
honestly.
I think it's just because she doesn't want to have sex with you.
No, but he can. Like, you can invite her. She
can?
She sleeps in her
Wait, whoa,
room.
whoa. I have permission from Moody?
No, you have permission from your father. You may now
Kiss the-
procreate. Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
no.
Consummate.
I think she's
Whoa,
watching
whoa.
this. I think her parents are watching this
Whoa.
right now.
Consummate.
we don't.
Yeah,
we
I think
don't
her
need-
dad's watching this right
watching
now.
this right now. So
I am so sorry. That is not what I meant. I meant that even sounds bad. I'm going to stop now.
Mr.
Digging in the
Riley's
hole.
girlfriend.
Moving on.
He's telling his son, you know,
No,
just
no. Shut up.
he wanted to be on the podcast, but I don't think he wants to.
punch him in the nose.
Yeah. So wait, he's the D&D guy, right?
Yeah, he's
dude,
watching this
we
right
got to
now.
talk for sure.
Like Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes.
All right.
We're thinking about actually starting
Do
up
not
a,
disturb.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. no, yeah.
Do not disturb. What is the DNC? That's what I was thinking. Do not
That's a.
DNR.
Do not
That's it.
consummate.
Do not consummate. Anyway, sorry.
Isn't the DNC the Democratic? thing?
Anyways,
Yes.
back to
National
Back to the art.
Convention. I was thinking the
back to
DNR.
Shut up!
Where were we?
Can we
Anyway.
get back to it now, please?
The do not resuscitate. is what I
Yes.
was
Oh my
thinking.
God.
So as of 2020,
How do you even know where you were still?
because I'm good.
He's got notes.
Of course. So the leading motive with 49% of suicides was health issues. Okay, which is kind of weird to think about because you were just saying how like they're generally healthier.
Right. Well, diet wise.
Right. So 49% of was health issues. However, because the category for health issues includes both mental,
I saw that.
like depression, and physical issues, it is not possible to distinguish between the two.
Oh, wow.
So
I
the
would
se-
assume that the higher rate is mental.
yeah, I would assume so too.
Yeah.
The second most commonly listed motive for suicides was what do you guys think the second is?
Your fucking spouse.
No,
Oh, money.
money. Yeah, it's money. It's just financial and poverty related issues.
Yeah, I
Is
can
that,
see
is that
that,
just
dude.
in Japan or everywhere?
That's probably in
this
a lot
is
of
just
places.
we're just
This
talking
is
about
just
Japan,
Japan,
right
though.
now.
I feel like it's probably the exact same here.
Dude, honestly, like money, knowing that dude, that's like the hardest. That fucking crushes
it's
you real
hard.
quick.
Oh yeah. And then the third one, well, that
That's
was
like the
17%.
number one reason for divorce too is money issues.
Yeah.
Well, and I believe that's why men have a higher suicide rate in like countries where they have like they're traditionally, seen as the breadwinners,
Yeah,
and if
yeah.
they can't provide, it's like a huge level of shame and like failure. So that's when they
Well,
just
especially when you're supposed to be bringing honor to your family. Yeah, like
when you're supposed to support.
it makes
people,
sense.
It's the whole stigmatism behind like a lot of men, stuff like that.
Yeah, so it's 17% of suicides for that
For
one.
that reason.
And then for 15% of suicides for the third one is what you just said.
Family stuff.
Family stuff.
Issue, yeah.
Household issues, disagreements and bullshit like that. And either way, it all sucks. By occupation, 59.3% of suicide victims were in the broad, quote, not employed category, which is not to be confused with the unemployed, as in those who are seeking but unable to find a job. The not employed category also includes pensioners, homemakers, and others.
So like older people that don't work but they
Right.
still get money.
Right, they're considered not employed, as
Okay.
opposed to unemployed means
Right,
you're
which
looking
is
for a
like
job and you can't
someone
get
like
one.
us who would be looking for a job. If
Right.
We, yeah.
While the teenage suicide rate in Japan is lower than the OECD country average, teenage suicide rates have been the only category to increase slightly in recent years, despite the significant drop in overall suicide rates over the past decade. Now, that's actually worldwide. Teenage suicide rates have like skyrocketed.
You know what? I
Yeah,
want
yeah.
to say it's because of social media. 100%.
Oh yeah, I'm sure
Yeah, it
that
definitely has a hand in it.
because people.
I was gonna say if you look at the correlation of when social media started
Yeah.
to go up, you'd probably see the same.
Well, because what it is when you're younger,
The same kinda
everything has so much
correlation.
more gravity. Like you feel like it's the end of the world when any little thing happens, or if you get
yeah,
embarrassed.
yeah.
But back in the day, if you
Like,
got
you think
embarrassed,
high school is the fucking that's it, dude. If you fuck
Yeah.
up in high school, your rest of your life is ruined.
right?
Oh yeah, someone called you a name and now everyone
Yeah.
hates you and you think your life's over.
Yeah.
and especially like
It does get better.
right, exactly.
It does.
But-
Well,
Well,
It
but
does.
with back in the day, if you fucked up or got embarrassed or whatever, you would just have like 3 people who knew about it or
that's,
saw
yeah.
it.
Now everybody
Now
fucking
everybody sees
someone
it.
gets
Yeah.
a video of you falling and your pants fall down and it's fucking all over the place.
Like, did you see that video of that little girl at the German soccer game that was crying and she got like online bullied for like so badly that it made national headlines in Germany because
see
she was
that.
getting just all kinds of online hate.
That's
well,
crazy.
because there was
She
a
was-
video of her crying at a
She
game.
was crying in her dad's arms because Germany lost in the game they were playing in the tournament, and so
How
she
old
was
was she?
upset. She's probably like 8 or 9.
What the fuck?
Right. What the fuck does it matter?
Ben Roethlisberger cried when they lost.
Yeah, but he's
Just
like
saying.
4 times. I don't even know. He's old.
He's also
Yeah,
a
but
freaking
that's-
like multi-champion. So
Right,
yeah, I
He can
mean,
take-
Still,
you
but
take a
that's the
few
point.
knees.
The point is,
Yeah,
a
I'm
fucking
just saying.
grown ass, dude. Any sporting event, dude. You see, like, you lose the championship or whatever, dude. Grown people cry all the fucking
yeah.
time over.
I've
shit.
seen people physically fight each other, not only because of their differences in their sports teams, but because one of their sports teams has lost, they will fight each other.
Yeah, that had to be New Jersey.
Like, no, it was
or
here.
Red Sox fans, or I mean Philly fans.
Pretty much
That's-
every-
Oh yeah, Chicago. Chicago's
Yeah.
they're pretty devout.
That's how you bring honor to your trailer park.
You can send all hate mail.
To Riley at the. I have to get hate mail.
You got to get a hate mail, just
yeah,
like hate mail at
hate mail at the
midnighttrain.com.
Midnight Train. Yeah.
Riley at midnighttrainpodcast.com.
So many who decide to commit suicide will choose a place where it is hidden and not easy to be found to spend their last moment, and that's what we're here to talk about. And for the Japanese, Okigahara Forest is one of the most common locations. It is also known as the world's second most common location to commit suicide in the world.
What's the
What's
first?
the first? Yeah.
Hold up, you guys don't know?
Oh, what is it?
you don't have a
Give
guess
us an idea. Give me a
of
guess.
what the number one would be.
Do you think
Oh,
you know?
Golden Gate Bridge.
There you go.
Hey, can
Really?
Riley get an applause
So,
over
yeah,
there for
absolutely.
this?
There you go.
Wow.
buddy. So now I did. Interestingly enough, I don't know if I put it in here. They're actually putting up netting
Yeah, I saw
all
that.
the way across.
Yeah.
It's like
They're
it
doing that
goes,
with multiple bridges.
it goes
though.
20 feet out, and it's like maybe 10 feet down or 20 feet down or something like that. So there's like no way to jump off the bridge. You'd have to like jump off into that, then like crawl over the fucking netting.
You have to
Like,
really want to die.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
someone's going to do that, though.
I'm sure they will.
Michael Jordan
but-
could jump over it.
No.
Dude, well, do you know that there's a high rate of people who people who survived suicide attempts, like from like jumping from a bridge or whatever, like on the way down, like they'll like regret it or like
That's
want to
the-
change
dude,
their
I
mind.
saw an interview with the guy who survived jumping off the goal. He's like, as soon as my hands left the rail, he's like, I regretted everything that I did.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then like, but the crazy thing is, like, usually you have that thought for about 3 seconds, and then,
You don't have any time to
but
think.
like someone who survives that, man, like you gotta fucking live with that. You
You-
remember that feeling of just fucking letting go.
and you
That's gotta
better
be
And that
hard,
dude's a big
appreciate.
advocate for all that stuff. Too.
Yeah,
He
he's
speaks
like
at,
a-
TED Talks and
yep.
stuff like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
You've seen
I've
him
seen
before?
a few.
Yeah.
Yeah, of his broadcasts.
I was going to say that
Yeah.
if anything should change your life, it should be that.
like,
Yeah.
I recommend everyone watch that.
When I was younger, my dad used to get my grandmother used to get Reader's Digest. And I think I may have spoken about this on the show before, but they used to get Reader's Digest all the time. And if you don't know what Reader's Digest is, it's an old-timey kind of
They had the humor in uniform, the fucking
yes,
stupid jokes,
and
shit.
laughter the best medicine, like all these like
was
little
all
like
dad jokes.
really dad. Yeah, they were dad jokes. But I read a story in it about a guy who was mentally handicapped. And he tried to kill himself. Now, this is in Reader's Digest, whether or not it was a story or if it was true or whatever. This is just what I read. And he shot himself. Well, when he shot himself, he woke up in a pool of blood, and whatever it was in his brain, that bullet actually like fixed it. So he woke up and he was bleeding everywhere, and he tried to get a hold of people to get taken to the hospital, and whatever was causing his mental
Imbalance?
There you go, imbalance. It like fixed it. And again, this could just be a story that somebody made up. I don't know, but I remember reading that story like, holy shit.
That's crazy.
Well,
Yeah.
that happens a lot. Like little damages to the brain. Like people have concussions, CTE.
Yeah.
They change their personality. You ever heard that story of Phineas Gage, the dude with the railroad spike that got shot through
Yeah,
his face.
yeah.
And he spent the rest of his life a completely different person because a
Yeah.
railroad took out half his brain.
Well, they say if you actually look at like serial killers and stuff,
Yeah, the
most
head
of
trauma.
them have frontal
Major
lobe
head
head trauma
trauma,
and
yeah.
stuff. Yeah, in the medulla oblongata. Something must be wrong with his medulla oblongata.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
There it is. So, Okigahara is located at the northwest base of the country's highest mountain, Mount Fuji.
Yeah.
Big ass mountain. Due to its high density of trees.
Volcano. It's a volcano, right?
Yeah.
Mount Fuji's a volcano.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a dormant volcano. Yeah.
So, due to its high density of trees, Okigahara is also known as Jukai, which simply means a sea of trees.
So that real quick, if you watch, you can find some videos online, and it's really cool. They call it the Sea of Trees because it's very dense, and if when like the wind blows through it, there's like that ripple effect.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's fucking cool if you can find the videos of it.
Yeah, and it's
I would have posted them, but fuck you guys.
the tree cover. The tree cover is so thick that even at
How
noon,
thick is it?
it's so thick that even at noon you will hardly find a bright spot in the forest.
Ooh.
So that's pretty awesome. It's super freaking thick. Okigahara is also known as Japan's
Super thick.
demon forest.
Ooh.
And you had it.
Oh, boo! Hit the boo! Hit the boo!
No, I'm not doing it. I don't get booed on this show.
And it's also been dubbed the quote perfect place to die.
We'll talk about that a little bit later.
Many
where that came
Japanese
from.
many Japanese believe that the forest is haunted and dare not go nearby.
No,
This 35 square kilometer, around 14 square miles.
so it's
forest.
not that big
No.
either.
Yeah, 14 square miles. I mean, for a forest, I guess.
It's not huge.
Yeah,
I mean, you could walk from
Yeah.
one side to the other with you
In a
know.
day, at least.
Yeah.
Easily in a day. Yeah.
yeah. So it's cold, rocky, and contains some 200 caves, of which a few, such as the Ice Cave and the Wind Cave, have been popular among tourists.
Where's the fire
less-
cave and the earth cave?
I was just gonna say less popular is the Earth, Wind, and Fire cave.
All right.
Do you remember? Sorry. The law
Dog,
offices
the dog's not having it, dude.
first. What? Shut up!
How are they barking at?
I don't know. She'll be fine. She's dumber
Don't
than
mind
shit.
the dogs.
Yeah. So because of the rocky area and thick trees, Okigahara's surroundings are almost identical, making it the perfect journey for those who are making a one-way trip. For trekkers and hikers, they often carry along plastic tape to mark their way so that they can actually find their way out again, because it's so thick and just so it's so thick and
Every
massive.
time you say how thick, I just want to go, how thick is it?
It's
Super
so thick. So
It's
okay,
super thick.
let's talk a little bit about the forest here.
Okay.
Because, well, nerd shit. We want to know about this.
Yes.
That is a thick bush.
You like Bush?
The bush. It's the biggest.
We should be drinking Bush right now.
I don't mind Bush, to be
I
honest
don't
with
really
you.
mind it either.
And again,
He wasn't a bad president.
sometimes I wish I could slap the shit out of you from over here. More so that I wish that I would have said that myself. Yeah. So, anyway, it formed out of a devastating volcanic eruption that occurred in the
Ooh.
year 864,
Oh, okay.
which was, ironically, Chainsaw's second birthday.
Wow.
Aw.
Yeah, so it's kind of
Very nice.
Yeah. So the nickname
Yeah.
Sea of Trees captures the full grandeur of how this wind-swept forest appears in the mountain, with its treetops rolling like waves.
Yes, I did put it in there.
Yeah. The trees in the forest do bear an exotic gnarled appearance because they grew out of hardened lava.
Gnarly, bro.
Yeah. Their roots could not penetrate to the usual depth.
Stop it, Riley. Shut up.
It was too thick and he couldn't penetrate. What are we talking about?
It's too much bush.
It's too Jesus. Ah! Anyway, so the flow of the lava left the ground with an uneven surface before hardening, where it is not.
I wasn't going to laugh till he did. He did it first.
Ah, son of a bitch. Where it is not unusual to see trees partially uprooted along with gaping holes.
Who the fuck wrote this?
I don't know.
Cave-like recesses that have formed in the ground.
Ooh.
Okigahara has been falsely portrayed as a place where navigational compasses go haywire. Needles of magnetic compasses will move and if placed directly on the lava, aligning with the rock's natural magnetism, kind of like Moosey.
Oh, boo. Hit it.
Yeah,
Hit
get it. I fucked up.
Like Moosey.
Like Moosey.
Yeah.
And kind of like Moody,
Oh, okay.
except the exact opposite.
Oh.
Sorry. Fuck.
Dude, trust me.
so many
You guys want
I
to take
know,
a 5
I
minute
know a
break?
thing. I know a thing or two about having natural magnetism, all right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, look at this guy.
Hey.
So anyway, it varies on iron content and strength by location. Okay.
Correct.
However, a compass behaves as expected when held at a normal height. The forest has a variety of conifers and broadleaf trees and shrubs. Deeper in the forest, there are many aromatic flowering plants. It sounds beautiful, to be honest with
Really
you.
does.
That's what everybody says.
Yeah.
The people that don't go there to kill themselves say that it's like there's a lot of people that just go there to hike through there because it's fucking beautiful.
There are also many mosses, liverworts, and ferns.
Ferns. I fucking love ferns.
I do like a good fern. I do. No, I'm kidding.
I know.
I'm not.
You're kidding me? Yeah. Sounds about right. Damn, dude.
no,
How much
I'm kidding.
shit?
Well, I mean, if you're gonna be a dick about it, I don't know. Come on, dude. There's nothing wrong with a good fern.
They're okay. They kill cats, though. Cats eat them and they die.
I fucking hate cats. So I don't
know.
care.
It kind of works for you.
I love ferns even more now.
Now I'm gonna have to go buy a shitload of ferns.
So aside from the immense savings of plant life that choke the forest, it is home to plenty of wildlife.
Yeah,
Some of
buddy.
the animals you may encounter include the Asian black bear,
Okay, very nice.
deer,
Deer,
Nice.
fox,
foxes, very nice.
Japanese mink,
Ooh, the best kind of mink.
Oh,
and Japanese squirrel.
okay. What's the difference between an American squirrel and Japanese squirrel?
One's got a red dot on it,
not
the others don't.
It's not a joke either. That's I was. It sounds like you're starting a joke. But
No, probably because it's in
Like
Japan.
size. Yeah,
I would
let's say,
assume
like size.
right?
Maybe they don't have as coarse of hair because they don't have to really worry about the winter and
I don't
stuff
know.
like that over there.
There's winners in Japan.
Look
yeah,
up.
but not as severe as like
Look
America.
it up.
Look it up.
Yeah, look it up.
Well,
I want to know.
Did you know, like in Kent, there's just black squirrels?
Don't
Yes.
there-
Yes.
there's
They're
black
here
squirrels
too.
around
Oh, they're
here
here too?
They finally
Yeah.
moved. They're moving.
I
like,
just
outside.
found out where those came from.
Where?
So somebody, who was it? You were out there talking. They were
Yeah,
talking
I don't
about
remember
it.
who
Are
exactly
you
what
gonna
it
say
was.
the
It was
lab
like
thing?
no.
No.
It was an
Okay.
ambassador to America, or that's some other country that came here and
He was coming to
gifted-
America?
and gifted the president of Kent.
Yes.
I was waiting. Thank you.
Drink it up.
I was so enthusiastic.
Moody's gonna starve.
Best part is we saw all of that. I saw on the camera as you walked out.
Good, I saved it. We're good.
You good?
Yeah. God damn it. All right, go ahead.
So anyway, yeah, it was like an ambassador or something that actually brought it back to like the head of Kent State University. Yes. And it ended up like escaping or something.
No, they let it free because
let it free?
Yeah, they wanted it to
and now
procreate and consummate.
And now we have black squirrels all over the place. And I had never seen a black squirrel until I moved here from Cleveland.
They're fucking mean.
I pulled up, like just driving out with at the time, my girlfriend, now my wife. We were driving, and I was like, "Is that a fucking black squirrel?" I was like, "That's amazing! I want one so bad."
I'm not even mad. That's amazing.
You ate the whole wheel of cheese?
And pooped in the refrigerator.
I'm not even mad.
Yeah.
Drag up, you sons of bitches.
Anyone does all right. $5 to anyone who can remember what I was supposed to be googling.
Oh,
What's the difference between
the
our
two different
squirrels and their
squirrels.
yeah, the
squirrels?
squirrel, like a Japanese squirrel. Yeah.
We still haven't even found out about the G7 and all that stuff.
I'm really behind. I'm sorry.
But they also have boar
Boar.
and wild rabbit.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
Also, the forest is a great place to see tits.
Really?
That's right, my friends. They have many kinds of tits, including willow tits, long-tailed tits, and of course, the great tits.
Oh,
Yeah.
Great tits.
Great. They have great tits.
Yet another episode where Grace is probably going to walk in and just hear just this
They
one
have
fucking
great.
prog.
They have great tits there.
Okay, real fast before we talk about the great tits.
Yeah.
So, you know how there's the ongoing joke of every time we mention boobs, which is not very often.
Boobs.
My wife will walk in the damn room
Yeah.
every time.
Yeah.
It just happened again the other day.
Yep.
She comes walking. We were at work. She comes walking in the back. It was playing in the kitchen, and we're in the
last
back.
episode, yeah.
She comes walking out, and she's laughing her ass off. She's like, you know how you guys say you never say boobs, but only when I listen. She's like, I just walked in the kitchen and heard you guys talking about boobs, and we weren't even talking about boobs. We were talking about like this right now.
Yes. About how we don't talk about boobs.
Anyway,
great.
Tits.
so Moody,
Yeah.
what is a tit
I mean,
in the forest?
a tit in the forest.
Yes.
I don't know. It's something
good
maybe,
time,
maybe
am I
like a
right?
fairy or a gnome or something.
Well, it's obviously a little.
It's a bird.
It's a bird.
Oh, it's not an actual tit.
Yes, it's not an actual.
Did
It's
you
not
say a fairy or a gnome? What kind of
Yeah, they
gnome?
got
What kind of
tits.
weird shit are you looking up? Gnome
Right,
tits?
especially
Fairy
Japan.
tits. Fairies got tits.
Oh, you're
dude.
into that
Moody's-
stuff.
It's like a
Moody's-
bad Black Sabbath song. Fairies got tits instead of fairies wear boots.
Moody searches. He's like gnome tits.
Weird
It's got to be
shit.
a thing, right? I'm sure if you search
Goblin
gnome
ass.
Hey, Riley, look up gnome tits. Don't worry about the squirrels. Look up gnome tits.
All right. So why is this beautiful place such a popular place for people to end their lives?
Really quickly,
Uh-oh.
it's weird because we just went through all that. We got the animals, the tits, the birds, the whatever. They got the. It's weird because people are under this assumption that there's like no wildlife in the forest.
Oh, really?
Like if you look up shit, like people are like, I don't understand why there's no animals there, no bird. There's not even any birds or anything in there. It's like,
Well, it's probably a sad ass place.
and they say that there's like no, they're like there's no bugs, there's no birds. Like, but if you actually look it up, like it's a fucking forest.
Well, I
Right.
mean, I've been on like walks in the metro parks and haven't seen anything while I was walking. It's just trees. You know what I mean? Like it happens.
Yeah, when Hocking Hills, we were walking
Yeah,
on
there's,
that
like,
one
nothing.
path on the trail.
Or
it
when
was
Logan
so
and I were in
quiet.
West Virginia looking for an Asquatch or a freaking Samsatch.
All we
couldn't find
found
either.
was
of
say
them.
were
an
barking
Asquatch?
spiders.
Asquatch.
Oh, okay.
Asquatch. The white-tailed
Yeah,
Asquatch.
That might be that's why.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay.
we can't find them.
But it's just weird. It's weird to me that like that's like the running like misnomer is that there's no wildlife in the forest.
Okay,
but
but
apparently
there
there
is.
is.
There
yeah.
is. Well, as stated earlier, it is a very quiet place that offers up dense cover to help conceal things that are going on. Essentially, it's peaceful and you can be alone away from prying eyes. Not only that, there was a mystery novel called, this one I couldn't find, Kuroi Jukai, translated as Black Sea of Trees, written by
Oh.
Seiko Matsumoto in 1960.
Yeah, Seiko Matsumoto.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That novel ends romantically with the lovers
Ooh.
committing suicide in the forest, which revitalized the suicide forest popularity among those who wanted
So it's
to
like
end their
fucking
life.
Romeo and Juliet style shit.
Right.
Probably.
So it's one of those like,
We can't be together. We're gonna.
didn't think about it,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden you read this and you're like, oh yeah, we can.
Oh, that's a good place to
Yeah,
go.
that sounds like a good idea. No, it's not. Stop. Also, Wataru Tsurumuri,
Nice.
his controversial,
Sounded good.
his 1993 bestseller, Jesus,
Yeah,
the
this is rough.
complete.
Fuck.
The Complete Suicide Manual.
Yeah, this is. You could still fucking get this, by
Yeah,
the way.
it is a book that describes various modes of suicide and even recommends Okigahara as the perfect place to die. Who writes a fucking book like that?
So I was reading something about, and basically the author was like, I can't remember really how he defended it, but he has like a reasoning behind it, and it's kind of weird. Like it makes some sense, but you're like, why would you take it to that level?
Right. To write a whole
Like he
manual about it.
defends himself. He defends the book. He'll defend it like whenever you ask him. But
Now, is he looking at it from the standpoint of like from the Japanese kind of like the honorable whatever?
I don't know.
I'm gonna have to
Honestly, I
look
don't.
into
I don't
that.
remember. But you can find out. Like you can find it on there, like his quotes and his reasonings and stuff behind it. So
Yeah, we're gonna have to look into that because yikes.
Yeah.
it's the scary thing is apparently it sold a fuckload of copies too, and that's frightening.
Yeah. So apparently, this book is a common find in the forest, usually not too far away from a suicide victim and their belongings. Undoubtedly, the most common method of suicide in the forest is hanging. It's not uncommon for officials to find abandoned cars at the trailheads, empty campsites, though, throughout the entire forest, strings and ropes left by people who venture off path and to help find their way back, and sadly, the bodies of those who decided to enter the forest
Yeah.
Don't fucking stop me.
and never come out.
So, quick question. Just going back to what we were talking about with finding books at the sign or at the scene of that happening.
That book we were just talking about, they find that book.
So it's
about
basically-
suicide.
Couldn't he have been charged like criminally for that?
No,
No, I mean, you wrote a book and it's
What's this-
you
what's
you
this
didn't
book?
you weren't convincing someone to go kill themselves.
right.
I mean, if I wrote a book about a cult or whatever and told you on this date and this time to take cyanide,
It's not your fault if someone believes you're dumbass.
yeah.
okay,
I mean,
that's shitty, but okay.
yeah.
I mean, it's true.
Yeah,
You could write a book. I mean, fucking people believe the Bible.
true. Okay.
Yeah.
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 Is that going to get me some shit?
We all got real quiet. Like,
Yeah, we all were like,
Like
We were
that-
like,
was
should
that-
we say
was,
anything?
Was that
Is that
too
what we
far?
call it?
Well, no,
Was
but
that
it's
the-
true though. Like
But it's
everything,
true, yeah.
that's one of those things. Like the representation of your art, where you are supposed, you have freedom to create, and if people happen to take it either at heart and literally, that's not on you. You know what I mean? It's not on you. At least it shouldn't be. You know. And oh, look at you! You gave me beer. Oh, by the way, today we're drinking Golden Road, which I believe they're right here in Ohio, right?
maybe.
So if anyone knows those guys, tell them to hit us up.
Give me an IPA, you fuckers.
Yeah, buddy.
Did you pay for that?
That's all we have.
What does that have to do with anything?
What the? So
What does
straight
that have to
faced.
do with anything? Did you pay for it?
No, but I'm not bitching.
All right. I can bitch about whatever I want to.
It's like oil and water with you two. Jesus Christ. That was so quick. Did you pay for that?
They're from California too.
Oh, it's California?
Yeah.
Should we
Okay.
talk about all the 6 packs of Tall Boy High Lifes I bring every week? Want to talk about that?
Hey, we're not the ones complaining.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Speaking of High Life,
Yes.
come on.
Miller,
So
the
there
champagne
are
beer.
signs along the trails urging people to seek help if they are having issues and contemplating suicide. The sign reads, quote, "Your life is something precious that was given to you by your parents." And think about your parents, siblings, and children once more. Do not be troubled alone.
Now, did they do that on the Golden Gate Bridge too?
I think there's signs up on the Golden Gate.
I'm
Bridge
sure
as
there
well.
probably
I don't know what
is.
they say, but I'm almost positive there's signs.
Okay, now, just a pause on this. Do you think that actually helps for somebody that's in such dire straits that they're
I
driving
think,
all the way out? To
I think it could.
Yeah?
I think it could help
It's like
people
that-
that aren't that are on the fence.
What's
Yeah.
the
know
what's
what
the
I mean?
percentage, do you think?
1% of
Yeah,
all
I mean,
that.
I don't think it's a lot of high
Yeah.
percentage, but I guarantee.
But listen,
you,
1%'s more. That's
Oh,
better
yeah,
than
I
nothing.
that helps
guarantee
more than
you.
anything,
I
yeah.
guarantee you that stopped a couple of people that were like really on the fence about it, and they're just kind of going, and then
They were on the fence at one point, literally.
what?
The fence of the Golden Gate Bridge.
No, we're talking about the forest.
Oh, boy.
Oh shit. I thought
It was a good joke. It
I
was a
thought
good
you guys
joke.
were trying to debate like how if the Golden Gate Bridge signs had helped people or just signs in general.
Just
I guess maybe in general.
I guess in general, yeah.
I think it's helped a few people.
Even if it's helped one person,
Correct.
you
Yeah,
can't make an argument
absolutely.
that it should be taken
yeah,
down.
I'm
Yeah,
just
no,
wondering
and
if, like, you know,
costs
because these
nothing.
people are at.
Well, who knows? Like when you're in that state, maybe
Yeah,
it's
you don't
anything.
know.
Maybe you
You-
look up and
yeah,
you
you
see a
don't know
bird
what
fly
it'll
over,
do.
and you think, you know what? I'm
Right.
not gonna do this. It could be
Yeah.
anything.
Because you're literally like you're
You're
I
contemplating.
was gonna. I'm not even gonna say it. But you're at the end of. You know what you're going to do. Does that little last?
See, I think if
Quip.
you're that far into it and you're set on it, I don't know if a sign is going to help.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people in that situation that aren't.
Now listen, a lot of people do this kind of shit because they're flying off the fucking handle just out of emotion or rage or whatever.
Yeah, it's a
and it's a
knee-jerk
fucking
reaction.
It's a knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah.
They're like, well,
See,
fuck
something
it,
like
I'm just
that-
gonna fucking you know.
Something like that, I think a sign like that
Maybe
could
that
help,
could help,
man. Like,
yeah.
you could be like, you know what, you're right. My
Right.
family, my kid, I got a kid, I got whatever. and-
Right. So the signs end with a helpline telephone number, hoping the lost souls who seek to die would call for help.
Now, what about the people who are planning to commit suicide because of their family? Do you think those signs make it worse?
That's a good question.
Oh
right there.
shit, that's a good question.
Like if you're doing something because your dad or your mom did something to you or did something to someone else, you know something about them, and you think of your mom and dad, and you're already in this state, like
yeah,
that might send you deeper.
that's
So-
that's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be like, well, fuck it, I'm taking a sign with me. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, that's a sign then. Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Something,
That is literally a
like
sign.
fuck this fucking sign. I'm taking it too. So there are people who hike in the forest in hopes of finding people and stopping them before it's too late.
Yeah, they have, and then I guess like once a year, I think it is,
Mhm.
they go in and have like a full like sweep,
And I
clean
wish
up all the shit and like
right.
one man has found over 100 bodies in his time in the forest.
the guy they did I think it was Vice did a documentary.
Is it the guy
And-
that saved all those dudes, all those people?
He saved a bunch of people too.
There's a guy who literally has dedicated his entire
it's
life.
probably the same
Yeah, he
guy.
patrols that. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. He saved like
Yeah, he
it was
goes
like
there-
12 or 13 people or something like that. At
No,
one
I thought it
time.
was more than that.
I
But
don't
anyway,
know.
that's
I
what
think
he
it's
does.
I think it's the same guy though. They did a Vice documentary and he was like their guide,
Yeah.
and some of the shit he was saying was
Well, I mean,
crazy,
we have
man.
people who like guard burial grounds and stuff like that, so they don't get to like why wouldn't we have one or two people patrolling the bridge every? You know what I mean?
It is
Or this
crazy.
forest.
It's
Or
crazy
the
though,
forest as well,
because in
too,
the
exactly.
documentary, like they're following him and he's in there and they come across a campsite. There's like a guy in a tent, and like you can kind of tell that the dude's this. He's not there for camping,
Oh,
and like
really?
they tell him, be like, "Hey man, like you're not allowed to camp." Like they don't want to call him out because you never know what kind of state they're in. But they're like, "Hey, you're not allowed to camp here. Whatever, you're gonna have to pack up and move and leave." And he was just like, "Okay."
This,
like,
was,
he
this was
wouldn't-
in the forest?
This was in the documentary in this forest. Yeah.
Oh, really?
And like he was just like, "Oh, okay, man." Like he's like, "Oh, basically like, okay, no problem." Like whatever. The dude never came out of the tent. Never fucking. He like really wouldn't look at him or anything like that.
Ugh.
And like they were walking away, and the dude was just like, I hope he
Oh.
thinks about what he's.
Boy.
It was like one of those things. Like he saw the guy, and like you knew.
Right.
And it's in the I think it's a Vice documentary. It's
Yeah.
it's crazy.
So this guy, he found over 100 bodies in his time in the forest, and with all of this death surrounding it, isn't any wonder that there are tales of hauntings and strange things happening there. There are also stories of demons that inhabit the forest. And with that being said, and most of the heavy, just horrible shit that we've been talking about being done here, let's get into what we came here for. What we come here for every week. The creepy shit. You ready? Hold on, waiting. Yeah?
Carry
yes,
the one.
I'm ready. I'm
Yes,
ready.
okay,
I'm
here it
ready.
is. The most common tale of the forest being inhabited by something evil had to do with the Yurai. Yurai?
I believe it's Yuri.
Yuri?
Yeah.
No, it's not Yuri.
It's not Yuri.
No, I spelled name totally different. It's nothing
Oh.
like this.
Oh, how do you,
What?
okay.
What? I've never even been to Japan before.
Apparently, you haunt the forest.
No,
then.
I know. I stay home all the time.
You are a frightening man.
Like, no, I'm a nice guy. I've been cosmonaut.
right.
That's all I do.
You did invent space rope.
Correct.
Yeah.
Get your space rope today. So Uri or Yuri.
Yeah, I think I've heard it pronounced when I was listening to different things. It was always Yuri.
Okay.
Yuri.
Or
Yuri.
Uri, maybe?
Yuri.
Uri?
I think it's Yuri.
Uri. You're okay. Okay, anyway.
Yuri, I think.
Yuri. All right. Anyway, the Yurei are thought to be spirits barred from a peaceful afterlife. Ukiyo-e artist Maruyama Okio created the first known example of the now traditional Yurei, or because it's got the Yurei, whatever.
Whatever.
In his painting, The Ghost of Oyuki. Ukiyo-e is a genre of Japanese art which flourished from the 17th through 19th centuries. That's kind of cool. The Zensho-an in Tokyo houses the largest single collection of Yuri paintings, which are only shown in August, the traditional month of the spirits. Yuri are seen in white clothing, believed to signify the white burial kimono used in Edo period burial rituals. That's kind of cool.
Okay. Yeah.
They have long black wild hair.
Okay.
They generally lack legs and feet, and the and
Fucking Lieutenant Dan.
I got
No?
ice cream for you.
and it says, hold on, I'm just reading what it says here. And the haha typically dangle at the wrists.
One more time. What was that?
And the haha typically dangle at the wrists.
Look, dude.
You can tell how far I got before anyway. So the arms are usually held outstretched. You know, they're stretched out here. Or at the side, stretched out at just the elbow. The yuri are often accompanied by hitodama, which are floating flames. They can be various colors, such as blue, green, or purple. So yuri is actually somewhat of a catchphrase, or of a catch-all phrase for ghosts. So
Yeah.
they basically that's what they call ghosts.
Kind of
Kind
what
of
you call like the like demons, like yokai and stuff like that.
Sure.
Oh,
Can we
okay.
can we move on, please?
Anyways,
There are actually different types of yuri. There's onryo.
Okay.
I feel like I'm saying it wrong.
Probably.
Onryo.
Onryo,
Onryo.
I don't know. Just pick one.
Onrai.
Onryo.
We're sorry.
Which are vengeful ghosts who come back to to
Ooh.
the scene of wrongdoing done to them.
Oh my.
So they
Oh,
okay.
return their vengeful ghosts.
All right.
The,
All right.
the Goryo, which are spirits of the high class and aristocrats,
Oh.
which are also vengeful usually.
Fuck those
Yeah,
assholes.
usually for having been martyred. And there are
Bumi.
Ubimi?
Obumi.
Obumi.
Yeah.
Ubumi.
Ubume.
And
Jesus fucking dude, it's hilarious.
which are mother ghosts who either died in childbirth or left children behind when they passed.
That's sad.
They come back to care for the child and often
Oh.
bring sweets to them.
Oh, that's nice.
That's a nice ghost.
Interesting.
I wouldn't mind having one of those.
Yeah, I like that. There are several others as well, including,
Yeah.
oh boy,
Yep. Keep going.
Funayurai,
Oh, there you go. That was good.
Hey.
Hey, good job.
which are the ghosts of those who died at sea,
Oh, very
and Zasashiki Warashi,
Okay.
Exactly.
which are the ghosts of children.
Dude, fuck them.
Oh boy, that's creepy. Yeah, you don't like that. Yeah,
They're
you,
little, apparently those ones are little fuckers too.
yeah, you got to think about ghost children.
I fucking hate them.
Yeah.
If we see one when we're at our, I'm gonna probably run out screaming.
You
like
know
a-
what my
like a
you know what my
fucking
daughter
baby.
does to me?
I'm just
All
gonna
the-
be, dude, it's gonna be like, I'm gonna run out.
Just
my daughter
bouncing.
does this to me all the time. So it'll be like kind of dark in the house or whatever.
And she just stands there and fucking.
no,
waits you-
she'll just stand there, but I won't see her, and she'll go,
Uh,
"Come play with us," and I'm like, "No, please stop."
Dude, my
Stop
daughter-
letting her watch those movies.
Dude, my daughter, she'll just like come in our room and not say anything. I'll just be like, you get that feeling. You're like, I'll wake up and she'll just be, because she's got really long hair.
Oh no.
So it's like the fucking chick from like The Ring or something.
Oh, no.
I'm just like,
Well, I told the story
Fuck.
before. Riley was probably like 9 or 10, and I'm in my bedroom. They're in bed. Him and his sister, they're sleeping, and I'm at my house just by myself. This is when I was single, and I'm curled up in bed and I'm watching a horror movie, and I can't remember what horror movie it was. It was getting good.
the piano.
It's a pretty horrible movie. So I'm bundled up. Lights are off because I like it. You know, if you're going to watch a scary movie, you got to have the lights off. You got to be whatever. And all of a sudden, my door opens up. Boom! And Riley's standing there. And I'm like, fuck, what the fuck? And he's standing there. He goes, did you hear that? And I go, what, dude? What are you talking about? He goes, ugh, and just walks out of my room. And I just laid there with my covers over me like, oh my God.
So this was just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it was just a couple weeks ago. Right. So listen, there are many more ghosts, but you get the point. According
Yeah.
to legend, people bring their family members during famine to the forest and leave them to die there in order to save their food for other family members.
There's-
Holy shit.
There's a name for this. They call it granny something, and I can't fucking I forgot to put it in there. Shit, I'll have to look it up. But it's called like granny something, like granny dumping or some
Oh
shit
my
like that.
God.
Where they'll literally like, because they can't take care of them anymore, they can't afford to, or they
Right.
don't have enough food, whatever, and they're getting too old to like have to take care of constantly. They'll like drive them out there and just fucking be like, you know,
Wasn't
see you
there,
later.
there was a culture back in the day, and I don't remember who it was now off the top of my head, but they used to send them off on rafts. And when you got to a certain age, they put you on this raft and they just sent you out to sea. That was it. That was it because you were too old to help with the community.
That's fucked.
It's super fucked up.
But you know, to them, that was like,
That was
and that was the honorable thing
That's
to
what
do.
you did.
Like grandma's getting on the raft, like, yeah, let's fucking do
You
this.
walk in, Grandma, hey, guess what? Today's your 80th birthday. Oh, really? Yeah. We got you a raft, and come with us. We're gonna. Oh, really? I have to. Yeah, you do.
But like them though, that's like they had something to look forward to though. They're
Oh.
like,
Yeah.
It was the Eskimos.
It was the Eskimos that did that. Yeah.
isn't that like a derogatory term now too? You're not allowed to say Eskimo.
The natives to the cold people.
Somehow that's worse.
Wait,
Anyway.
so you can't even say Eskimos anymore.
No, apparently that's
Is
like
that
that's
negative?
like a derogatory
Some way we're
term.
just going to grunt at each other.
We apologize. So you would say the
Indigenous.
indigenous
Natives,
Indigenous,
whatever
like
they
are.
Canada/Alaska,
I don't know.
The
Northern
cold
America?
Indians.
North America. Yeah.
the cold Indian.
Yeah.
That's what?
Again, I think that's worse. I
That's
don't
even
know.
worse. I don't know.
Snow Indians.
So those left in the forest would slowly die due to starvation. Of course they would, and turning them into Uri or Uri.
Oh,
which-
do you
yeah.
guys know what the term for killing, like, you know how they have like matricide, which is like killing your mother and all this stuff.
Right.
What is it called when you kill the elderly? It's just the term for the murder of the elderly. What is that called?
Old aside.
Kind
what I was gonna
of,
say.
kind of.
grandma side.
Geriacide.
Very close.
Gilficide?
Geriatric side.
It's geronticide
Geronticide.
or senecide.
Senecide.
Like you're going senile, like senecide.
I thought that was when you killed John Cena.
No, you can't see
you
that.
can't,
Can't
go
see
You can't
me.
even see him, dude.
That's can't. I'm sorry. I don't even know where I was going. There.
Can't see me aside.
I was gonna say can't see aside or whatever.
So the belief in Yuri continues to this day. When a body is found in Okigahara, forest guardians place it in a room next to the forest before being sent to authorities. Legend has it that if the body is left alone in the room, it's Yuri or Uri move around screaming
pick
in the
one.
room. Yuri, fine, that's fine. Anyway, they move around screaming in the room. Hence,
Yeah.
forest guards will play rock, paper, scissors to determine who the unlucky companion to the body is.
Yep.
What?
Because no one wants to be there for that shit.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's an intense game of rock paper scissors.
Yeah. Oh, that's so crazy.
You switched it halfway, man. You do paper. What the fuck?
2 out of 3. 2 out of 3.
Also, in Japanese legend, aside from the Yuri, the forest is said to be haunted by demons. So, of course, there's that. Demons are always good to have around, you know? So, knowing that there are possibly, ribs of ghosts and demons hanging around.
Ribs.
Were you hungry
Ribs.
at this time?
Ribs of
Ribs.
ghosts.
I had ribs for lunch. That's why I'm doing this.
Drink up. Yeah, drink up. Yeah, let's go. So, ribs, huh? Anyway,
That one kind of hurt.
let's get into some creepy stories from the forest here. During a Vice documentary that takes a tour of the forest, an extremely creepy curse is found. There's a Jack Skellington-like doll with his face cut off, nailed upside down to a tree as a sort of inverted crucifixion. Yikes. According to the documentary's guide,
This is
Azusa...
this is the dude I was talking
Oh,
about.
okay.
Yeah.
Azusa Hayano, quote, they nailed this character upside down as a symbol of contempt for society. No, it's more like a curse. The curse is nailed in. Apparently, it's not that uncommon for visitors to leave a curse on the world they're leaving behind. Oof.
That explains 2021.
That's creepy, dude.
Yeah.
You imagine just like it's like that island of dolls, man. That's just creepy shit. You guys
Oh,
ever been in Mexico?
Yeah.
It's just like seeing shit like dolls are another creepy thing. Man.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
didn't
Maybe
like
because
Annabelle.
they're like children.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think you like kids.
Oh, I hate them. I love my kids.
But all others are out, huh?
Oh, fuck them, dude. I don't want nothing to do with them.
You don't like Ava?
Who?
Who? Exactly.
I don't think, have you met Mike?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. She's great.
She asked me about my dogs.
Yes.
So the next story was written for a Japanese newsletter. June 26, 2011. I am walking through Okigahara Jukai Forest, the light rapidly fading on a mid-winter afternoon when I am stopped dead in my tracks by a blood-curdling scream. The natural reaction would be to run, but the forest floor is a maze of roots and slippery rocks, and truth be told, I am lost in this vast woodland, whose name in part translates as Sea of Trees. What?
Picturing like walking through a completely silent forest, and then just from way in the back, you just hear,
Hey, baby!
just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that would fuck me up. I'm not gonna lie. I don't care where it came from. Or you're just
Sorry.
walking through
I just can't. And
and you're just minding your business, and then all of a sudden you just hear,
hey, baby.
"Hey, baby," and then. So inexplicably, I find
Ay,
myself
ay.
moving toward the sound, searching for signs of life.
Seems smart.
Instead, I find death.
Oh,
The source of that scream remains a mystery as, across a clearing, I see what looks like a pile of clothes. But as I approach, it becomes apparent it's more than just clothes I've spotted. In a small hollow, just below a tree and curled up like a baby on a thick bed of dead leaves, lies a man, his thinning gray hair matted across his balding cranium. His pasty upper torso is shirtless, while his legs are covered only by black long johns, with blue striped boxers sticking out above the waistband and a pair of woolly socks. Under his bent legs, a pair of slacks. A white shirt and a jacket have been spread out as a cushion at his final resting place. Scattered around are innumerable documents, a briefcase, and other remnants of a former life. Nearer to him are items more closely related to his demise, empty packets of prescription pills, beer cans, and bottles of liquor. The article goes on, but this is the end of the story for our creepy purposes. The man had been dead for some time, so there's no way he could have produced the scream, so where did it come from? A demon or a Yuri trying to draw the man in?
or a baby.
Hey, baby.
Or just somebody who walked by and saw that and like darted out.
Yeah, but I mean,
That's-
okay,
yeah,
let's
that's
just kind of like break this one down for a second. So,
Break it down.
Kind of imagine like that Scooby Doo or like that old cartoon thing because he said there's a pile of clothes. They just like ran so fast that clothes came off.
so what if you're walking? Let's just say we're in the metro. You're in the Metro Parks by yourself. You're
You
just
see a
hanging
bag
out,
on the side of the
whatever.
road.
Huh?
You're gonna go pick up the bag.
Well, no, not bags.
Oh, okay.
So you're walking and you're by yourself.
Yeah.
It's pretty desolate.
Yeah.
And you hear a fucking scream, whether it's "Hey, baby" or not.
I think that would be worse,
Right.
honestly.
But I mean, you run over to where you think
Think
or
you heard
pretty
the
much know
scream
this
from.
came from, and then you find a body of someone who has been there for a while.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that's gotta fuck with you. Not only are you finding somebody who's demised, but where the fuck did that scream come from?
Finding someone who's demised.
Or is it possible that somebody else stumbled across that body and screamed? Did you say that? I'm sorry.
That's exactly what he said.
That's the whole reason why we're talking about this.
He doesn't listen to us when we talk.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I'm sorry. When I'm telling a story and everyone's talking over me, it's kind of hard for me to listen.
Nobody was talking
Just
over you.
saying. Just saying.
Nobody was talking over you at the time.
Oh, well, then I didn't hear you.
Literally, like, everybody
was
was
dead
quiet,
silent,
and he
yeah.
was like, "Do you think it could have been someone that saw the body and screamed around?"
Oh, no,
away?"
I didn't hear. Swear to God, I didn't hear you say
And then,
that.
and
at
then you were
all.
like, "Well, imagine you were walking through the Metro Park."
I didn't, but I mean, so to me that makes sense.
Yeah,
though.
that
Yeah.
would make sense to me.
That makes
Someone
sense
just
that
walked
it-
by and saw it and screamed and ran away.
But if I don't know, but if
Why
like
would you
imagine
see a
it's-
dead? Why would you see a dead body though and yell, "Hey, baby"?
damn it! One of these days, my beer is going all over my computer.
That's gonna be the goal now. Was like
Yeah.
we're trying to see who can,
each okay.
who can lose their
All
beverage.
It's gonna become a sober podcast. It's gonna be like,
So what were you saying, Riley?
Riley didn't say
I
shit.
haven't.
No, just now you were just gonna say you were saying something about the screaming or whatever. Or why would somebody?
I was gonna say footsteps. Like when you hear someone's screamed and ran, wouldn't you hear like?
Well, I don't know. It depends on how.
footsteps- Said he was
It
kinda far
depends on
away,
how
or-
far away they were when they heard the
I
scream.
guess.
I don't know.
Yeah, it said he was like
I'm just
it is
picturing like
kind of
the
a ways
fall
away.
when like there's like leaves on the ground and stuff. You can hear people running. Like
It's very specific. Of you.
Still a definitively like scary
Yeah, it's creepy as
premise.
fuck.
Yeah.
why are
yeah.
you alone in the forest?
Well, you know, some
You don't
people
like
do.
to reflect, dude?
Not alone in the forest. No.
Did it
Well,
say in the like the
some
article
people
or anything
do.
like that? Like he was there for other reasons?
I don't know. I don't know. He just said I think at the beginning he's like, I find myself in the forest. Blah, blah, blah. Like he doesn't really say why.
Okay.
I don't know if he was just hiking or whatever.
So the Destination Truth television show filmed an episode in the forest and may have caught a Yuri on camera. A man was hanging out in a spot alone. Why is everyone in there fucking alone?
Because they had people parked, they're like, you video here. I'm going to go over here and see if I can see something.
All right, gang, we're gonna split up.
Yeah. Always the worst idea in movies. Listen, if we split up, no,
You can't get all of us.
because one of us is fitting to die.
Okay.
So anyway, he was hanging out in a spot alone, and in a clip on YouTube, he says that he thought he saw something, so he checked the camera.
Yep.
After checking the camera, he notices a shape that seems to rise up from the ground. It's white and human-like. It's there for a couple seconds, and then seems to disappear back into the ground. Now, what it was, we can't say. It could have been a Yuri, or honestly, it looks just as much like someone dressed in white standing up from behind a bush, then crouching back down. Given the forest legend, though, we won't rule out ghosts here. What?
You know I love ghosts.
Yeah?
Yes.
You know I believe in ghosts 100%.
You think this one's bullshit?
It legitimately looks like somebody dressed in white, just like behind a log, is just like,
Taking a shit
ooh. Ooh.
with the same face.
Just stood up.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Like, I mean, it's hard to see, but to me, that's exactly what the fuck it looks like.
Really?
Like,
So you guys go out there and you look at that.
you
and-
can find it pretty
Yeah.
pretty easy.
So we
it's
found this
kinda
next
silly.
story buried in a message board. There have been many stories of people who have had their guidelines cut while they were exploring the forest. That's creepy.
Yeah, like they talk about how people bring tape or lines or rope
Yeah.
to be able to find their way back.
There's just some asshole walking around going,
This would be hilarious.
bye. This is an account of one of those incidents. It was written by an anonymous person to take it. So take it how you will. Okay.
It was found in some really random, like, I don't know.
Those are the best, though.
It's, I mean, obviously you take all of these as a grain of salt, but like I found it on a real, like, I don't even know where it was, like a translated Japanese, like some sort of forum. So
Oh.
take it as you will.
All right. So he says, or they say, anonymous here, quote, while on vacation, me and my friend decided to check out the suicide forest. Well, at least he went there with a friend.
Wait,
That's-
what was this found on?
It was some random, like, it was kind of, it seemed like a Japanese version of Reddit almost. So,
So take it with, take it.
that's what I'm saying. Take it as you
Yeah.
will.
We were told the best thing to do would be to get on a tour and check out the caves as well. We didn't really want to do a touristy thing though. We decided to hike out there ourselves. Smart. We read up on dinner things about the area and decided, dinner things. Is that the dinner things?
It's supposed to be some, for some reason.
Why does some never
I
work on
don't-
your phone?
I don't know, dude. It comes up as dinner and something else all the time. I'm like, what the fuck?
Your
man?
phone knows you better than you do because it's
I
saying
know.
dinner constantly.
It's like there's.
Some and dinner are not even
gonna take
remotely close.
I'm gonna take that as a fat joke. And I'm just gonna walk away from it. I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna walk away.
all right. So they read
I
up
would
on.
say I'm gonna be the bigger man, but you'll just make a joke. About it,
So they read up on some dinner things about the area and decided we would bring along a bunch of.
He left dinner in there.
Yeah. No, I said. Did I?
Yeah, you
No,
said
I said some things.
you said some dinner things.
Okay, whatever. And would bring along a bunch of paracord to string along so we would not get lost.
Sure.
Okay, makes sense. We got there in the late afternoon and found a trailhead and parked. Immediately, we were struck with an eerie feeling and the signs at the beginning of the trail and in various places saying not to commit suicide and, get help didn't help them. Okay.
On a side note, real quick, I rewrote the story.
Okay.
Because
From Japanese.
No, that'd be awesome, dude.
That'd be pretty dope.
No, because there was so obviously I fuck up as well, but there was some weird. It must have been in translation. There was some shit that just made no sense.
Okay, well,
So I rewrote it. So if there is fuck ups,
so it's going to be pretty much the same as every episode.
right,
Okay,
right.
Okay, we're good.
I just want to let you know. So if there is fuck ups, it's because I had to rewrite it because there was like if I would have left it exactly how it was, it would have been way worse than dinner, dude.
So we set off on the trail to check it out. We walked for about 15 minutes and found a spot in the dense forest that we thought would be a good spot to head in. My friend tied the paracord to a tree a few feet in, and we set off. The further we got in, the creepier it got. Did you just come back with one beer? Yeah.
So I literally thought about it, but I didn't.
Both were good.
Riley walked
true,
out
yeah.
and then came back with one beer.
What a
You
love.
just popped yours, okay? And I didn't want it to get warm.
It's okay. I'm good. I got a koozie.
All right.
All right, thank you. So it was very quiet. You couldn't hear animals or birds or other people. There was not much light coming through, but we could still see okay, so they could see each other.
Yeah.
After about an hour of exploring and letting out our line, which actually ended up being 2 large bundles of paracord tied together, we decided to head back. We were reeling in the line and heading back the way we came. At some point, we started to hear a rustling. We thought this was strange because we hadn't seen any animals, but hey, we're in the forest, so who knows? But it soon became evident that something was actually following us. We were both spooked and picked up the pace. The rustling got louder, but then whatever it is, or whatever it was, seemed to take off ahead of us. We were both somewhat relieved. That is until a few minutes later when we got to the point where the paracord had been shredded and the shredded end wrapped around a random tree. We couldn't find the other end of the cord, and we started to freak out. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
So you're like basically halfway in.
And they got to the where it was like they cut like shredded the cord and it was wrapped around a tree, but they had no idea where the other end to follow out.
So where the
was.
fuck do you go from there?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Why'd they wrap it around a tree, though?
They didn't. That's the point.
No, but why would whoever cut it wrap it around a tree?
It was the demons.
Well, probably to keep like that tension on there or whatever. So if you're holding on to that, and you're walking with
and you're
it.
kind of
That's
like
true.
tugging on it. Yeah. Just to kind of fuck with them.
Because remember, when it's super thick, you got to tug on it.
It's true. if there's a lot of bush around you, you're gonna eventually
Have to tug.
it.
Fuck. So then,
This is why you can't search us on Patreon.
that's right. Then we heard the rustling again, but we could not see anything. We started to look around for the other end of the cord. As we were looking, the rustling seemed to come from all around us. We kept getting more and more scared, and my friends started crying and freaking out about being lost and telling about how we're going to end up dead like the rest of them. The rustling got louder and louder, and then all of a sudden,
Hey, baby.
no, it was nothing.
Oh.
No rustling,
Ooh.
no noise.
Just stopped?
Nothing.
Just stopped.
We both stood there looking around. That's when I saw it. I saw a shadowy white figure off a little into the forest. I thought I was seeing things at first. I rubbed my eyes and looked again, and it was still there. At this point, I lost it and started screaming. My friend turned around to see what I was screaming at and saw it too. It started to move towards us. It wasn't walking, though. Wait, Jesus. It wasn't
Sorry.
walking, though. It was like floating as it came closer.
Yeah, that makes sense. It wasn't walking, though.
Yeah.
Did I put the comma in the wrong place?
And it's fine. You could see that the figure had no bottom half. It was basically a floating torso. You couldn't see the face or whatever it was. It had long, wild hair. My friend started screaming as well, and we both started frantically looking for the other end of our line. As the figure came closer, we finally found the end of the cord and started moving as fast as we could. The figure continued to follow us, matching our speed. After what seemed like hours of moving as fast as we could through the forest with things following us or something following us, we finally came to where we started and could see the main trail. We ran onto the main trail and ran all the way back to the car without looking back. Neither of us said a word on the way back to the hotel. To this day, we don't talk about it. In my head, I truly think that whatever that figure was trying to trap us was in that forest, was trying to trap us in that forest. That figure still haunts me. It's pretty
Mhm.
fucked up.
It's frightening.
Yeah, that was pretty intense.
I mean, yeah, I'd shit myself. Little poo-poo.
That's just because you're old.
No,
That jet lag.
I would have shit myself again. How's that? Is
Yeah,
that
that's
better?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh. That's a lot of poop.
Twice. Twice. So locals in the
Twice a day. That's over your average.
no, it's way below average. Yeah, way below average. So locals in the area that reporters have spoken to
Yep. That's exactly what I meant to say.
they have become used to the stories, and they are not worried for the most part. Despite these statements, there are still reports of locals hearing
'cause
blood-curdling screams at
'Cause
all
they're classy.
hours.
It's because they're classy.
They're
You didn't-
classy.
you didn't
Yeah,
read it right.
Yeah, that's right. So they're still hearing these screams from inside
Yeah,
the forest.
apparently, like there was reporters that would go around and talk to the people that live kind of on the outskirts of the forest, and there's to this day people claim, yeah, like we hear fucking weird screams all the time coming from the forest, and people claim to like see, like people that live near it, like walking by, claim to like see things inside the forest.
Yeah, they seem to. It says that they claim to see the Yuri from time to time
Yeah.
as well.
yeah, yeah.
That's fucking creepy. There are
Yeah, I
numerous
mean,
stories of people that may not have necessarily seen anything, but definitely get the heavy, sad feeling when they visit, as well as the feeling that something or someone is watching them. Then, of course, there are those with the unfortunate story of coming upon a body, which is probably the worst story you can even imagine to bring home.
I feel like though, so a lot of it's like even like tourists and shit like that, they just kind of wander off the main trails, but it's like you can't be surprised at that point. Like you go in there and like you know that if you go off the main path that there's a good chance that you might see something that
You
that
kind of
don't want to
almost
fucking see.
You kind of have almost expect it.
That's what I mean. Like if you're
Yeah.
gonna do that, like you can't get like a half a mile in and be like, I can't believe I found this. Like
Right.
you gotta almost expect that it's gonna happen. At least that's the way it seems.
Well, there's some people that go there probably looking for that.
A lot of people, I'm sure, probably go in there like, oh, I wonder if we're going to see a dead body.
yeah, yeah.
Y'all want to see a dead body? No. Anyway.
I got it.
By all accounts, the forest is a beautiful place to visit. Go ahead, Riley.
I was gonna say for the overwhelming feeling of sadness or whatever people claim to feel when they visit, like even if they don't see anything.
Predisposed.
I'm about to say, I wonder, like, so let's imagine that the suicide forest, like 100 people a year kill themselves in it, right? And everyone knows about it. It's famous. People go there for that reason. Let's say that exact same person then goes to another forest in like Romania or whatever, right? That 100 people kill themselves in annually, but not a single person knows about it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
it's like they don't have
So
that
you wonder if
preconceived
it's
notion.
like a
Yeah, like do they still get that same overwhelming feeling of sadness in the same forest in just another part of the world that's not
I don't know.
famous?
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I just think that's all in your head.
So it is a beautiful place.
There is
It
a
sounds
forest.
beautiful there.
There is a forest in Romania that I want to talk about. I think it's Romania.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's another crazy forest.
Black Forest.
No, that's in Germany.
And most people, honestly, they have no issues when they go to this forest, okay? So they walk in.
Yeah,
and
most
whatever.
people. Yeah,
Regardless, take heed when exploring and please be respectful to the place that many have lost their lives.
see, I think that's the biggest key, man. Because you see how people treat fucking wilderness around here,
Oh yeah.
just like throwing shit around, like just basically being trashy and whatever. Like they don't respect like a place like that. Like on top of, it's like a national, like it's a big park there. Like everyone knows, but like on top of respecting it just in general because of the fact that it's what it is, like you got to have respect for it on top of that because of
course.
what's going on in that.
Yeah,
You're like,
of course.
I almost feel like you need to take a little bit extra, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just like,
You got to have more respect
Yeah.
than normal, yeah. So let me ask this. In knowing the history of Japan and how they looked at and may potentially look at suicide and
some people still might.
some might still look at it. Is it I'm putting aside kind of devil's advocate thing here. Is it a good thing possibly to have a place that's specifically designed for
So,
people if that's the
yeah.
route you wanted to take?
I was kind of wondering about that. Like, I wonder if people keep, like, how it's so popular of a spot. I wonder if people, like, in Japan feel that way. Like, the people that are going to do it, they're like, this is where I should do it. This seems like, this is like almost like a sacred ground to do something like that on.
Right.
Where they feel like maybe that's, like, the best spot to do it for a reason. Like, maybe there's, like, in their head, there's some sort of religious context in their head. Like, this is where everyone else is doing. This is where I'm meant to do it. Like,
Right.
I don't know. That's a good question. I had thought about that too. Like,
Yeah.
Well, that gets into that question of what is that called when, like, let's say you have terminal illness or whatever and you just choose to not fight it and just to like not take your own life, but it's like medically induced, like euthanasia or like
yeah,
euthanizing?
euthanasia. Yeah, euthanizing.
It comes into that kind of argument where it's like, should
Who was that?
you-
Kevorkian did that
Kevorkian,
shit? Yeah.
it should be like who?
I
like-
think you should be able to. If you
yeah,
want
it
to.
comes into that argument of like, should the government like sponsor that, or should that be sponsored by medical practitioners? Because
Yeah.
they're
Yeah, yeah.
technically, helping you like like a doctor would. But
Right. So I guess that goes a little
and I
bit
guess
further.
it's with the forest thing. Let's say it's the
Right.
same kind of like same kind of
you-
idea. Is like,
Yeah.
should that place be in existence where it almost is like a aid to suicide rather than everyone being completely starkly against it? Like, don't do it.
Yeah, but
Right.
it wouldn't be medical officials that would take part in that because that goes against their oath. Their oath
Yeah, the
literally states,
Hippocratic Oath.
yeah, it's the Hippocratic Oath. Their oath
And
literally says
do
to
no
save a life.
harm.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's funny though, because it's like, are you harming them more by letting them live or by euthanizing them?
Well, that's that double-edged sword there, where you have the
Literal
the
sense?
context of life and what is life, and are you having the best life you can lead, or would you be better off not being here?
Well, you can look at it in black and white.
Especially terminal
Right.
illness.
Yeah,
if
if
they
you
say,
know it's going to happen and
yeah.
you get to a point where like life is just hard,
yeah,
like
quality of life is important. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, it gets to that point of like, is that oath being taken literally? Where like, yes, in a literal sense, when you are euthanizing a patient, you are doing harm to them, to their body, like they are dying. It's like it's a literal
but
harm.
is that the worst?
But is that
Is it
harming
worse?
them? Like never to harm a patient or whatever the Hippocratic Oath says, never to do harm. Are you actually doing harm?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Kevorkian, what Kevorkian would do, if you guys don't know Jack Kevorkian, go and look him up. He was the guy who would assist in a bunch of like terminal patient
Yeah,
suicides
like
and
people
stuff.
with like cancer and stuff.
But he would help them do it. Okay, so he would not necessarily go
he
in
would
and
basically
like
set everything
he'll
up,
set everything
and
up.
then they would like push
They'd
the plunger, or
press the
whatever it
plunger
was,
or
yeah.
whatever it was. So
whenever they were ready.
he'd get it
and
all set for him because he felt that these people deserve to have
was-
their,
yeah, 'cause
to
they
die
called
on
it-
their own terms.
They called it assisted suicide
Right.
with him.
That's
Like
the
he
term I
wasn't
was looking for,
he
yes.
wasn't killing them. He was getting them able to do it themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
And because he wanted these people like and some dignity, to die on your own
Yeah.
terms when you are at that
Well,
point when you
and that
know
goes
you're
back-
going to die, and what are you going to do? Just suffer the rest of the fucking way? That's
And
that's
that
no
goes
kind of
back.
life.
That goes back to what we were talking about at the beginning, though. Like that's the more honorable way to go. You don't want to go out in your worst. You want to go out when you're at your best.
100%.
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
like that's that. It's kind of like that same thing. Like that was their way of looking at it. Like this is the honorable thing to do.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get like with the prisoners of war. I'm not going to get taken hostage and held against my will by a member of an opposing.
And
like,
be
so I'm
freaking,
going out on my own terms. You know what I mean?
Just be beaten every day,
Yeah.
and starve to death,
Not
and all
even
this
that,
other
but
shit.
then like a moral reason, like especially for the Japanese.
You
it's
let
like,
your country down. You got caught.
and you could be responsible for more of your brothers dying.
Yeah.
If you give up information or something,
Right.
like you are directly responsible. So they
No, I
want to
kinda-
deal with
I-
that shit.
I kind of flip that too, though. But like, should let's say criminals and stuff like that, should they be allowed to do the exact same thing?
Like if you get
Because
life in prison,
they
can
took
you,
a life, and now you need to spend the rest of your life knowing what you did. Should they be given the easy road out?
Is it a
prior-
physical or so at that point it's mental?
Correct.
Yes.
It's still mental, but
Yeah.
wouldn't that be the same thing though?
Yeah, but at that point, so you're looking at somebody who's taken a life.
Correct.
Well,
Or
if anything-
done something criminally.
if anything,
and
to
they're
me,
charged for life.
That's your judgment.
Okay.
You have to live with that.
Okay. That's
So
just I'm looking at
So
it.
if
in
you
both
give
avenues.
somebody life in prison, as long as you are giving them everything that is required for a human being to survive, and you're not punishing, like beating them physically, you're
Right.
not, you're feeding them, you're doing everything, then your punishment is your life imprisonment.
Now, what is it to those same characters, but they're sentenced to death?
What do you mean?
So like,
he's
if,
saying like, what's
like a
the
death row.
difference between
Right.
death sentence and a life in prison sentence? Then at that
Definitely.
point,
Well, because that is your punishment. And listen, I'm pro death penalty,
Right.
100%.
I think
have
we should
been.
make it more
I
interesting.
I am more interesting.
Yeah, like at the halftime show of the Super Bowl, let's just like launch people from a catapult into a brick wall.
well, that's a little gruesome.
That's actually a joke from somebody.
Yeah,
it's
no.
from
who is that?
the guy who played Rufus in
Yeah.
Bill and Ted.
What's his name?
George Carlin.
George Carlin. Yeah.
Yeah, you ever listen? It's like a 10-minute bit. It's
Yeah.
hilarious. I think we should do that.
Yeah.
Honestly,
But in answering your question, at least in my opinion, the death penalty, there are flaws or flaws. There are flaws in it all over the place. There are faults and
Right.
flaws in it, and that's why people are so like, we can't do it, because you can have 100 people who you know for a fact fucking did what they did and they deserve to die because they took lives, multiple lives, whatever it is. But then if you have that one outlier that goes back in and then you find DNA because they screwed up initially, that was sentenced to life or sentenced to death for death penalty, then that ruins the entire thing.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
the biggest flaw with the death penalty. The biggest
Right.
argument against it.
That's
is that
it.
It's not even against the death penalty. It's against the system.
And there's
system,
actually
right.
there's actually a good amount of people that have.
oh yeah.
Oh,
there's
yeah.
a hot
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
like it's a like it doesn't see like when you get the actual percentage, it doesn't sound high, but like
Any percentage, is too high.
is too high, yeah.
Anybody that's been found guilty and that wasn't guilty and was put to death, that's way too much.
And that right there is the only argument and the only reason I think the death penalty is so touch and go and why I think it maybe shouldn't be a thing is just because of the one person that might get if the system was perfect and like we knew everyone's guilty when we say they're guilty.
So I think honestly think that that's why I think people are looking at that now, like when they, like if you go to a trial or something now, if it's something that's super obvious, caught in the act, they'll get the death penalty more than not. But you're finding more and more and more and more people with death penalty on the table that are getting life sentence
because
people are afraid
of what? Yeah,
I can't in good conscience. I can't in good conscience sentence this guy to death if it's not 100%.
If you have a
life
reasonable
in prison
doubt,
too, though. Even though
but at least if you have life in
that's
prison,
your
there's a chance that
but
you.
I'm saying if you're innocent.
No, but at least that it gives them an out.
Yeah, but my only
If
question,
5 years down the road they get put to death, and then 10 years down the road they find out they were innocent, at least if you were in prison for life, 10 years down the road you're gonna get out and you're probably gonna get some fucking money.
but
too.
isn't it to be found guilty like without a reasonable doubt?
Dude, it happens all.
That's all I'm
the
saying.
time.
That's
So
so. like,
let's not even get into it.
Yeah,
Indicting
sure,
our
yeah.
systems.
that happens. So on the other side of that whole thing, though, somebody is.
How do we get into this from suicide?
Because we're just talking about the relevance to it and whatnot. Somebody who is, caught for a crime.
Right.
They admit to the crime.
Mm-hmm.
They admit that they're guilty. The DNA and everything's there. It's all there, but they don't have a death penalty. The guy wants to be put to death, or maybe there's that whole. They have the death penalty, but they haven't used it since like 1963 or whatever like that.
A lot of people now they'll send you to death, and then you just end up in prison.
You just
on death
rot
row
in
for
prison.
your whole life. Yeah.
So that person, to me, there should be a take them out back. They're gone. That's it.
Yeah.
Don't charge the public. Don't make the citizens pay for taxes on this guy. If this person or woman, whoever it is, if they admit and they say this is what I want, and a lot of guys do that. A lot of guys will come in because they don't want to be in prison for the rest of their life. They say I would much rather have the death penalty. Please please kill me. And then the judge will be like, nope. You get, life without.
Well, sometimes maybe the judge is doing that to say, fuck you, guy. Like, you let's say you kill 20 people.
Hey, guy.
Fuck you, guy.
Fuck you, guy.
I'm not your buddy, guy.
Hey, guy. I'm not your guy.
Like, you kill 20 people and you're crazy. Like the school shooters and shit that go in there and say, like, oh, fuck you or whatever on their shirts and shit like that. Like total assholes like that. Like, it's nothing but contempt from the judge. And the court and
most of those guys are looking to go out in a hail of fucking police fire, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying like the guys who get caught and everything, and like that the
Why
death
are you
penalty.
stroking a sandwich over there?
I was fixing my sandwich.
I looked over. He's just like,
Make sure the cheese isn't getting hard. It's just sitting here.
So,
Go ahead, Riley.
So look, pretty much, I'm just saying like the judge might have just done that to fuck with him. Like I don't want to give you the easy way out. You want to die? Well, I want to punish you. So if you want to die, have the next 80 years in prison getting your ass kicked.
And then that's where we come back to the quality of life. When you got somebody that you're feeding them every day, and I don't give a shit if you're getting freaking taken in the showers by other people or whatever, especially if you did something fucking horrendous. I don't care. But to me, just if it's, there's a lot of guys, especially lifers and stuff, who will commit more murders while they're in jail.
Oh yeah.
Because what are you going to do to them?
well, yeah.
You're gonna send them to extra prison?
Yeah.
Well, and then a lot of those guys, dude, how many? So this could to kind of bring you back to what we were talking about, like how many? Like, what's the suicide rate in prisons?
It's pretty. It's pretty. I mean,
Pretty
well,
up there.
If your name rhymes with Schmeffrey Schmepstein, it's 100%.
John McAfee.
all right. In saying that,
yeah. So
we
like,
are
that's my
not.
thing,
We
you
are
know?
not advocating suicide in any way, shape, or form. We are not
No, man.
advocating like anyone killing somebody like that. If you do that, you're a piece of shit. Even though our government seems to do that and sometimes has to. Whatever.
All comments made on the show do not or may not reflect the actual beliefs of those
Right.
participating.
Right. Yeah. So we just wanted to tell you guys, and that's it. But anyway, it's now time for my favorite part of the show.
The gaping holes.
No, the tits.
The tits.
The thick.
Are we talking about the great tits?
No, we're not talking
No,
about
the
bushes?
thick bush.
Yeah.
No.
Tugging in the thick bush.
No.
Um.
It's the movies.
Ah, damn it!
You hit the wrong one.
He's got one job.
Fuck, it's on the other
One
side.
job.
Shut up. Have several jobs, thank you. Ta-da.
Ta-da. So we're talking about the top 10 horror movies
Yeah.
filmed in Japan, right?
Well, it's just the top 10
Just
Japanese
Japanese
horror
ones. Oh,
movies.
okay.
Because
So-
we all know some good Japanese horror movies.
I'm going to say that I
I've
don't know if
seen-
I've seen any of these.
I've seen.
maybe.
You've definitely seen at least the American version of
The
Two
one
or-
of them,
one or
or
two,
two of them.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so number 10. We're going in here. It's 1989's.
Number 10.
It's Sweet Home Alabama.
What the heck? That threw me the fuck off. I was like, wait, what?
It was so serious. Even I was like, wait, that's not on the list. Is it? That's a Japanese movie?
It's not. It is actually Sweet Home. A TV production crew are making a documentary, of course, about the infamous painter Mamiya.
out.
Yeah, you
I'm
don't like
out.
documentaries, do you? Mamiya Chiro. When they start filming at his old home, they come under attack from the ghost of the painter's wife. It doesn't tell me what it made or anything like that. Oh, none of these do. Oh wait, yeah, they do. Okay, one of them does. Anyway, so honestly, I have never heard of this movie. I've never seen
Nope,
this. Have
don't
you
know
ever
that
seen
one.
it?
No.
Okay, so moving
When's
moving
that
on.
from? Does it have a year?
1989.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 1957.
Oh,
The Depths.
dude. 1957. That was when Chainsaw,
was 80.
he was able to, no, that he hit his legal retirement age
Oh yeah, good for
in
him.
1957.
Yeah.
For
This
the
one
third
says
time.
it's got a 6.6 stars on it. It's
6.6.
yeah, which is weird because it's 66 minutes long.
You get that one right.
A blind
everyone gets
masseur, that's right. A blind masseur visits a samurai to request the return of a loan. The samurai kills him in anger, then has his servant dump the body in the Kasani swamp. However, the ghost of the masseur. Hold on, I gotta see what it says here. Sorry,
Ghost of the Masseur.
returns
Hey!
to haunt the samurai who kills his wife by mistake and then goes to the swamp and drowns himself.
I feel like it would have been a letdown if it was like the Ghost of the Masseur. Just went away forever. Like, what?
Yeah, 6.6 on that
All
one.
right.
Never heard of that one.
What's it called? What's that one called?
The Depths.
The Depths.
The Depths. The Depths.
I want to hear as many letters in that as I can.
You got to pronounce them, dude. The Depths.
I'm never using that microphone. Number 8, Twilight Dinner from 1998. A
Oh.
pale-looking man, Kozuhuki, is being questioned by the police following the extremely bloody murder of a young woman.
Oh.
He begins his story with the day the two sisters, Akiko and Mayuko,
All right.
moved into the house across from his. After
Okay.
helping the pair move in, he starts talking with the younger sister, and soon they become intimate. The relationship continues for a while, but one day the
Sexy.
sisters suddenly pack up and disappear.
Oh.
But not before sharing their secret with Kazuhuki or Kazuhiko. What kind of secret could have caused him to commit such a murder? Or did he? Yep, never seen it. Only 73 votes, 6.6 stars. Yep, sorry, never seen that one. Anyone so far? on
No,
that one?
sir. No,
Okay.
no. Not at all.
No?
Dude.
That's going to be a no for me.
Number 7, 2001's
dog.
Visitor Q.
Visitor Q.
A troubled and perverted family find their lives intruded by a mysterious stranger who
They
seems
made a
to
movie
help.
about you, dude?
Aw. I'm not even going to respond to that.
I am not troubled.
And seems to help find a balance in their disturbing natures.
Oh, good for them.
This one actually has a shit ton of votes, though. 15,365.
No crap.
Oh, it's a comedy drama horror, so that might be kind of cool to watch.
Comedy drama horror?
Yeah,
My favorite kind.
Yeah.
it's a comedy drama horror.
You're gonna come a drama hole.
Comedy drama horror.
It's a haramedy.
It's a yeah. It would be a haramedy. Yeah.
Haramedy.
Number 6, 2002's Juan,
Which is The Grudge, right? That's the one. This is the one that The Grudge was made from.
Creepy.
I think this is the same dude fucking did this one. The guy who did it's either this one or The Ring. The guy who did the Japanese version also did the American remake. It might have been The Grudge.
Can you look that up real quick?
I guess.
Just give me the director. If
You
his name
realize
is
we've asked him to look up like 12 things. He's
Just give
looked
it
up.
some minutes. You want
Riley's like, I'm never coming back.
We've gotten nothing. Out of
If
this
the
guy.
director is Takashi Shimizu, that's who did the
I have yet to see Gnome Tits. I'm just saying.
A Mysterious and Vengeful Spirits. Mark.
yeah, same guy, Takashi Shimizu.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, he did the original and the American.
Nice.
remake.
Okay.
A mysterious and vengeful spirit marks and pursues anybody who dares enter the house in which it resides. And we've seen this with the creepy ass kid with the black eyes and all that stuff, right?
it's-
Yeah.
So the
It's cool.
yeah, it's not bad. The ghosts in that, like the little boy with the black eyes, and then the girl in the ring, whatever. Those are like typical depictions of like the Yuri.
Yeah, that's what they look like. If you look up the
Yeah.
pictures of them, that's what they look like.
Oh yeah, because the
Oh, no,
white,
no, yeah, it's like
The
the little
white
black
with the dark hair, yeah.
Ugh.
Yep.
Creepy as fuck. 1959. This is number 5. 1959. The Ghost of Yotsuya.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Anyone here seen that?
Nope.
No.
The ghost of a samurai's wife takes revenge on her husband.
Oh,
7 stars.
nice.
1,385 votes.
Japanese make a good movie, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Quite a few.
Number 4, The Snow Woman
Mm.
from 1968. The lives of a master sculptor and his young apprentice are changed forever when they meet an evil witch during a snowstorm.
Mm,
376 votes, 7.1 stars.
not bad, not bad.
Number-
I saw that one on some other lists as well.
Yeah,
A lot of these were on other lists
Snow
of top
Woman?
10. Yeah.
it looks pretty cool. Number 3, Ringu,
Yep.
Ringu.
which
There
is
you
not
go.
like Rango, which is
Or
one of my-
Rango.
which is one of my favorite movies. Rango.
Is that Johnny
Yeah.
Depp as a lizard?
My God, it's so good.
Yes, it's very good.
Such a good
Dude,
movie.
they act
Rangoon.
out that entire movie while they're doing the recording of the skit and stuff like that. Like they're literally acting it out.
Like in a mocap suit, right?
yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like
That's
literally,
pretty cool.
like so when like all the scenes in that movie are all literally done. So like when that,
But
other
isn't that what they
lizard-
do with like the?
Oh, that's a lot of it. Yeah, a
like
lot
the,
of those.
the Marvel movies and stuff, aren't they all on like when
No, those
Thanos?
are all real.
Sorry, buddy. I didn't mean to burst your bubble. My bad.
What do you mean?
Nothing. So Ringu, of course, is the Japanese version, which was the first one before The Ring,
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, it's the one that the ring was based
and
off of.
most people have seen or at least heard about The Ring. A reporter and her ex-husband investigate a cursed videotape that is rumored to kill the viewer 7 days after watching it.
What did you guys think about The Grudge and The Ring? Which one's better?
The Japanese one's way better.
I'm just saying, like, of the two American movies, which one did you like more?
yes.
Because they're like the same.
Oh, between
movie.
The Grudge and The Ring, you're
Yeah.
saying? I mean, I didn't hate either one of them, but like I could take them or leave them. I think I like The Ring better.
Yeah, I mean, either one.
The
Yeah.
Grudge just to me, I mean, I don't know. The Japanese versions of both of them are so much better than the American versions.
Yeah.
Are they just like more well done, or scarier, or like
They're
better
the,
story?
Like the atmosphere is creepier. This the way they're put together. I think is
Which
better.
for which one?
both of them.
Well, I think it's probably easier for them to portray their own legends in like
No,
their
absolutely.
own
Yeah,
language
absolutely.
Oh,
and everything. Like,
In the language I can understand, but it usually like the Grudge, it was the same director.
Well, see that one though. Like if you watch the original, like they're both pretty good.
Okay.
but they changed it for
But
like
the original
audience.
one is still a little bit better, just because that was his original take on the movie.
Gotcha.
Like even if you're a guy remaking your own movie, like it's
Maybe a little different. Yeah.
you know there's
dude,
going to be different shit.
Well, he's also making it for
you have to make it for a
American-
different
yeah,
audience,
you're
like an
making it for American
international,
audience, right?
you know, an
Yeah.
American international
I
audience.
would
yeah.
love to see like take like 5 horror movie directors that made like cult classics or like 80s movies or whatever, and have them remake them and with modern like technology and modern like
Hitchcock and
Well,
shit like
technically-
that.
no, like, I'm
technically,
saying like
if you look at,
Rob
like-
Zombie and because he made House of a Thousand Corpses and everything like
Yeah.
that, right? And then like what's the guy with the big glasses we always would talk about? Romero.
Yeah.
Like if you could have one of them. Yeah. Yeah.
George isn't here right now. We wish he was.
Yeah. But, like it'd be cool if they did, like,
Of the dead.
of
I can't even do it.
Suicide Forest of the Dead.
Of the dead. We
But
missed
no, like
Jeff.
it'd be cool if they gave him all like $10 million and said, make a movie, remake your movie, like and did a competition out of it. That'd be pretty sweet.
I still feel like all of Zombies movies would be the same.
Yeah.
He goes for
Yeah.
that same kind of grittiness.
I like
and
it
that
though, man. A
kind
lot of people give him so much shit. Like, granted, his remakes are like me, but like, dude, House of a Thousand Corpses was great to me. Devil's Rejects was awesome. I haven't seen the last one, 3 from Hell. I heard that.
I
was
have
kinda
not
rough.
seen
one
that.
either.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen it.
But like, he made that movie 31, which is
I tried
essentially-
watching that, by the way, and I couldn't get
Well,
into
dude,
it.
all it is a horror version of The Running Man.
Oh, really?
Yeah. If you look at it, they put him in a warehouse and they have to make it through these different rooms without getting killed. It's the same thing as the fucking Running Man. It's like a horror version of the Running Man,
Oh yeah. Oh,
which makes sense because he always pays homage to movies like that from back in the day. But
That was a slow burn for me. Like,
it was
I couldn't
all right.
get
I
into
liked it. I liked it. It was
I
okay.
couldn't get into it. So number 2 on our list is Kaiden Kosaniga Fuchi.
Oh right, yeah, of course.
I can't say I'm familiar.
I probably destroyed that one.
Most likely.
Yeah. So anyway, it's got 5 votes, which is fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
You're good.
7 point.
5
yeah,
votes?
Yeah. A blind masseur. What the fuck is this?
A lot of masseurs.
A lot of masseurs.
What's that? Is it masseur or masseuse?
Yes.
Wait, is it the same
masseur is a male
description
masseuse.
as the other one?
Hold on. Let me-
I think
Because
it
the
was
other one was a
blind.
blind
Was it-
masseur.
Yeah,
was
the
it
other was
Yeah.
blind too. Yeah.
Holy shit. So the depths says, okay, hold on.
Is it the same fucking
A blind
movie, dude?
masseur visits a samurai to request the return of a loan. Okay,
Yes.
that's the first one of that one. This one says a blind masseur sleeps with the wife of a samurai who catches
Wow.
them in the act and kills them. The murdered couple return as
What the fuck
vengeful
is it with
ghosts.
blind masseur? Is it the same guy that did the same guy do both movies?
This guy is Kimiyoshi Yasuda,
Okay.
and this guy down here is Nobuya Nakagawa.
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
They got like a weird subset of
Kinda
horror
weird,
movies.
yeah.
It's like the blind masseur
But
fucking.
they return as vengeful ghosts.
Oh.
Oh, wait. This film is a remake of a 1957 film,
Called The Depth.
which is called The Depths.
No, The Depth.
Depths. With the depths.
So I
Depth.
just
Depths.
you done?
No, we're not.
Wait, hold on. One more time. The
Depth.
depths. We got it. Go ahead.
'Cause I looked it up and the
Particularly. Okay, now I'm done. Go ahead.
You looked it up and?
and there's a tradition of Japanese massage called anma, which is pretty much what shiatsu comes from. And the reason why mostly blind people did it because it was like one of the only jobs that blind people back then could do.
Oh, good for you.
Makes sense, though.
Yeah, like that's
Does
all they
make
could
sense.
do.
Yeah.
So they had an influx of blind masseuses.
Yes, because what else do you do when
Masseurs.
you're blind?
Masseuses.
Masseurs.
Masseuses.
Masseurs. Number 1. Battle Royale from
Fucking
2000.
amazing movie.
Okay, have not
If you
seen
have
this
not
as
seen
well.
this, you need to see this
Is it the one
movie.
with all the school kids?
Yes.
Yeah,
They lock
yeah.
them in, and it's just fucking.
Oh, shit, yeah.
It's like Lord of the Flies in a
Yes.
fucking
Yep,
school and
yep,
battle
yep,
to the death.
No
dude.
shit.
Yeah,
phenomenal.
It's super like violent too, isn't it?
Phenomenal.
In the future, the Japanese government captures a class of 9th grade students and forces them to kill each other under the Revolutionary Battle Royale Act. That actually sounds awesome.
Basically, people. I read that people are basically saying that the Hunger Games is like a fucking dumbed down, like family friendly version of Battle Royale. Like
Yeah.
people are
I
like
can see
the
that.
similarities between them and
Because it's
shit.
a battle royale in both.
It's fucking amazing. That movie is so good, dude. If you haven't seen. Also, there was another one that I'm surprised wasn't in the top 10 here that was on most Japanese horror lists. I don't know if you guys have seen The Audition.
No.
No, I haven't seen that one.
That'll fucking make you sick.
I feel like I don't have enough time on my hands to watch movies.
This dude, so basically this dude like pays, he's like lonely, so he places an ad.
Lonely.
I'm thinking of the what is it, fucking Team America, where it's Kim Jong Il. He's like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm Roan Reed.
Yeah.
No,
so,
but-
Roan Reed.
So basically, this dude like places an ad, like a fake ad, for a fake like movie audition to see if he can meet a girl, and then he does. He finds like someone who's like perfect for the part, whatever, and then it just like everything kind of flips, and it's fucking disturbing.
So
as
she's
shit.
auditioning
It's
him for the
disturbing.
movie?
No, it's disturbing as fuck, dude.
Oh, shit.
She, ooh,
Oof.
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 yeah, oof.
And what's it called again?
the audition.
The audition or audition. It depends. I've seen it both ways.
Okay.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up, dude.
So those are the movies.
Don't watch it with the wife.
Yeah. No. No. Okay.
No.
Those are the
She will
movies.
hate you.
And that was a kind of a rough ride.
There was, yeah, man.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Kind of a rough
heavy
ride.
lifting in that
Yeah.
episode for sure.
So we hope you enjoyed your ride with us with
Hopefully you learned a little bit more about it.
on the Okigahara,
There
the
are
suicide
animals in
forest of Honshu, Japan. There are animals.
Yep.
And hopefully people stop doing that there.
Yeah.
Hopefully, yeah.
So the other thing I read, I just real quick while I'm thinking about it, is everyone says how quiet it is. And like you can't really hear birds and animals that well anyways, which kind of lends to the fact that people don't think there is anything there. But basically the volcanic rock and how dense the forest is, like basically just like absorbs all the fucking sound. So it's like it's like eerily quiet. Like you can't hear shit.
Except, hey, baby.
You can hear that. You can hear that anywhere.
Hey, baby. So anyway, listen, join us next week where we are going to be talking
What are
about.
we gonna be talking about next week? I'm not sure. You keep switching it up on me.
We're traveling, baby.
We're traveling.
We're all over the place.
Fuck yeah, dude.
We're
Do
going-
they make train tracks that go to wherever we're going?
Yes, of course they do.
They do.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. You didn't know that?
Well, I don't know where we're going.
It's just
so-
for us.
Oh,
Yeah,
special tracks.
We're going to New Zealand.
New Zealand.
Oh.
And we're
What are
going
we
to
doing
do
there?
some creepy New Zealand, baby.
Ooh, creepy New
Yeah.
Zealand.
We're gonna head to New Zealand and we're gonna find
And,
out some of the creepiest shit they got there.
So the reason we're doing that, I assume, is because we've had an influx of listens from New Zealand.
yes.
You guys, we've been.
New Zealand
You guys
listeners,
have been
thank you so
crushing it.
much.
It's awesome.
Yeah, considering we were banned from your country for a little while, it's actually really cool.
Yeah, yeah.
But
because we played the land down under.
Yeah, that's it.
Wasn't even your country, and you fucking banned us there. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So that's what happened. So we're gonna do a ride on creepy New Zealand.
All right, dude. I hope there's a lot of creepy
gonna be
shit
fun.
in New Zealand.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. So make sure
Does
you're
Peter
here.
Jackson have anything to do
Yeah.
with it?
No,
No.
maybe I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
I don't know how deep he goes.
So like, Lord of the Rings shit that's creepy over there. They do have a Hobbit village there that you can go stay in.
Really?
Yeah.
There you
Oh,
go.
nice.
Is that creepy?
I mean, inherently, yes.
So listen, make sure to stop over to our official website, themidnighttrainpodcast.com. And at our website, you can buy some super sweet merchandise. Let's see, what shirts we got? The Fecal Fighters. We got the Don't Be a DeSalvo shirt, which is freaking amazing. The Speed Impossible shirt. We got the Hey Baby shirt.
Yeah, the Hey Baby.
There's all kinds of cool shit over there, including the
Jersey
switchblade
raccoon
wielding
shirt?
raccoon.
Yeah, that's a good one.
There's a lot of cool shit over there.
It's
So
gonna
make
be
sure
the
you
next one I get. I
yeah,
think, is
get over there
Jersey
and
raccoon.
pick up your merchandise and show
Good
the
one.
world you love the Midnight Train. And
Even
listeners,
if you don't, buy a shirt anyway.
yeah, right. And they
Even if-
and then burn it.
Yeah, I don't care. Whatever.
and people keep asking how they can help keep the steam in our engines. Well, if you like what you hear from us, consider being a producer of the show by heading over to themidnighttrainpodcast.com and clicking on the little Patreon button at the top of the page, or go to patreon.com/the Midnight Train Podcast. Unfortunately, you cannot search us on there because we say
Thick
stuff
bush,
like thick bush
gaping
and
holes.
gaping holes and tits.
And you got to
yeah.
tug on it when you're in the bush.
My wife's gonna kill me.
Tits,
Anyway,
great tits.
for as little
Not
as
your wife. I'm just saying.
the birds. He's
Why
talking about
not
the
my
birds.
wife?
Yeah,
Talking
for the
about
birds.
the birds.
For as little as $5 a month, you can get all kinds of shit like a custom shirt, custom poster, custom sticker, bonus episodes. Like we have so many bonus stuff. Bonus stuff.
We call that the $5 holla, by the way.
Ooh, is that what we're
Yeah.
doing? Holla.
Yep, $5 holla.
There's all kinds of great stuff going
We
on.
love
there.
you long time.
Oh wow. Ooh, that's. Speaking of, that movie's fucked up.
What?
Um,
Full Metal Jacket?
yeah.
It's a great movie.
That is a fucked up movie.
I mean, they kind of give the perspective of that era and all the things going on.
Vietnam and
Speaking
everything
of
else.
suicide
Makes
as
sense.
well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Very
Because what was his name?
Private Pile.
Yeah.
Full
Gomer
Metal
Pyle.
Jacket.
Yeah. Such a fucked up movie. Anyway, yeah, go watch that. If you're a diehard Midnight Train fan and you want to help produce this motherfucker, our Patreon is for you. We've got a ton of bonuses going up there. For those of you that would rather leave a one-time donation, you can always just go
Have we
over
got
to PayPal.
one of those yet? I
Yes.
offered a free sticker
Uh,
for someone who, remember last week I said if anyone.
not since you said that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no,
All right.
yeah. But if you want to do that, you want to give a one-time donation, just go over
If
to
anyone
PayPal.
sends us even 1 cent
1 cent.
by the time we record the next episode, I'll send you a free a Save for Moody sticker.
And just use the email address, the Midnight
And that's,
Train Podcast.
that's normally just a Patreon.
It's kind of hard for me to tell them if you're talking over me.
I'm trying to explain what's going on. So technically, you're talking over me.
No, you stopped.
You're talking over me.
No, now I am.
Logan, I hate it when mom and dad fight, dude.
Let's go to our rooms.
Well, you know what? Sometimes your mother's a bitch, okay?
Got him.
Anyway, use that email address, the Midnight Train Podcast at gmail.com over at PayPal if you want to get that free sticker that Moody wants to send out to you. Also, you can easily like, subscribe, and rate us on your favorite podcast platform. And most importantly, share the Midnight Train to everyone. We've been seeing a lot of people do that. And it's awesome when we
Yeah.
hear like people are just sending stuff to other friends and whatnot because that's how we get more listeners. So it's
Friends.
awesome. Yeah, so just, keep sending it out to everyone. It takes only a couple of minutes, and word of mouth is how we're going to get more passengers on this train and continue to bring you weekly episodes and bonus episodes.
Yeah.
We can't thank you guys all enough for the love. All enough?
Hall and Oates?
Jesus. Oh, my God, I love Hall &
Daryl
Oates.
Hall enough?
I saw them
So,
live and they were fantastic.
Funny story about that. My mom used to tell me that her friend for the longest time thought the name of the band was Hallin, like Haulin Oates, like Hallin' Oates, like the band was
Hauling
Hauling
Oates?
Oates. Yeah,
It's pretty funny.
yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Daryl's Hall and Oates.
I mean,
So
what
thank
did,
you.
what did Oates really contribute anyway?
He helped write, didn't he?
He had good hair
Yeah, and mustache.
and a mustache.
Mustache.
Yeah,
That mustache was killer. That was like a Tom Selleck shit going on.
yeah it was good.
Man.
Good stuff.
So thank you guys so much for listening. A very special thank you to our superhero
Idiots.
Patreon producers. I'm ready for my noise, baby.
Sure you are.
I know. To Brian Gunzelman, Margaret Atkins, Colleen Cox, Pumpkin Escobar, Mac Doherty, Gina Madison, Jan Flint, Cheryl Pierce, Chris McLeod, Justin Kowalczyk, Rob Webb from the Fun Box podcast.
you.
Please check those the Fun Box out. God, I can't even speak today, dude. I just really have to pee.
I'm sorry, Rob.
I gotta pee. Rob, I gotta pee. That's it. That's a problem. Christina Skelton and Jessica Bartolome from the Sisters Skeleton podcast.
Correct.
Not to be confused with the Sister Skeleton.
That's the spinoff.
That's a spinoff.
That's the one that we're doing.
Coming soon, right?
That's the one that we're
That's
gonna
the one
do.
yeah.
Yeah.
Maria Gibbs, Chainsaw,
What the fuck?
Jigsaw, Craig Spurlock, Rick Resler, Courtney Batchelor, Katie Bramanick, and of course our buddy Bill Birch.
Oh, good for you.
If you want your name to be mentioned on the show, please become a Patreon producer because you get the bonuses and we talk about you a little bit on the show,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So final words, guys, on the Okagahira, the Suicide Forest. What are you
Yeah.
thinking?
I think it's creepy. I think it's a strange place. I wonder why. I feel like there's more to it than just a couple of books that they're to be the reason why people go there.
It's
There's got to
pretty-
be something.
Pretty wild. Pretty wild. Riley?
I always look for the supernatural, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a creepy place that's very isolated. And where do you go when you want to be alone? Go to the middle of the forest when you're in Japan, I guess. And
Yeah.
the ball started rolling, and now there's an urban
Yeah.
legend, so it's just gotten worse.
You gotta think too. Like speaking of that, like you just said that. Like where do you go? Like in a place like that? Like
Right.
it's such a densely populated place.
Yeah,
like
isn't-
that's when you start thinking about that. Like it's not far. It's not that far out of Tokyo either. I don't think.
Right.
So like, it is like the quietest alone place like you could probably get to around.
Yeah, and
there.
if you don't want to get caught or have someone help save you or whatever, like go to the forest. You know.
Yeah.
Logan?
I had a thought and I lost it.
What were we talking
no.
about again?
I wanted to go out. I was gonna say I wanted to.
What's this
I
about?
wanted to experience that that eerie like quietness there because I want to know what that like. I don't know. Like if I were, I'm just saying like if we were to go on a trip or something.
No,
like
no,
that,
I
would
know.
wanna experience it.
I'm trying to figure out what the hell he's doing.
Well, dude,
Sorry.
go down when you go down to West Virginia next. Just go out into the woods a little bit. See how
Yeah, but every
creepy it
once in a
is.
while you hear a cricket or something
Yeah,
like
so
that. Like,
you
but out
still
there with the
hear-
volcanic
yeah,
soil
yeah.
and stuff
Or
like
dune
that.
buggies with like hillbillies raging by.
Yeah. that's something.
No, like
I-
literally, like apparently. Apparently, it's like a thing where everyone has like these little doom buggies now, and it just
Yeah.
got neons on
And they got
them.
like 9 or 10
It's
of them
weird.
just driving around the
It's
hills
weird.
for no
Yeah, it's
apparent
so
reason.
weird.
But no, I would like to experience that eeriness.
Just to see what it's like.
yeah, because there's like
Yeah.
rooms and stuff like that where you can go in and like the quietest room.
Yeah,
where
the
you can
sensory
see-
deprivation.
Yeah.
Yes, like, I like to.
Dude,
I'd
people
like to
start like
experience that.
hallucinating
Yeah,
and shit because
yeah.
their just brains like, okay, we need to do something.
Right. Yeah.
Ugh.
Something
I
to
would be
experience.
I would
think.
be afraid to do
All
that.
right. Well, I think it's
I can't be left alone with my own mind.
Thank you so much for listening. Listen, stay safe out there, passengers, and as always, choo choo, motherfuckers!
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.